Howard, a centre-half forward, 183 centimetre. Look, it's a big ask of Dean Howard. They may rotate Warren and other players through there just to provide a contest.
And Michael, the West Australians, as you mentioned, they spent a long time on the tarmac, but not the worse for wear as a result.
No, that's right. They seem pretty relaxed, and it's all been a fairly good build-up for the team. And Peter German, well, he thinks their preparation has been absolutely excellent.
Yeah, it's been a very good lead-up. We've been really pleased with the way, we've actually probably had a 6-week sort of lead-up. Hasn't been too intense over the first 5, but this week has been a lift in intensity and the way we want to go about our footy. And the players have really adapted well to it.
Peter, where do you think you can win the game?
I just think that we've really made sure we've picked a side that can actually play, multitude of sort of positions. We've got guys who can sort of float through the midfield, go forward, go back. Plus, we think we've probably picked a stronger and a quicker side than what we have in previous years.
Oh, no nerves, just excitement, and obviously pretty proud to be bringing the boys out, and hopefully we can bring home the Bickies, because it's been a while since we've beaten South Australia over here.
Is there a touch of revenge in it from a few years ago when you really did get walloped?
I don't know if it's revenge, it's more giving that respect back, because South Australia played pretty well that day and really gave us a belting. So we can just get a bit more respect back and play a better brand of footy, which will go a long way to winning.
That word respect keeps coming up, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and that's what it's about for Western Australia. Thought Peter German spoke really well then. They have got multi-options to go up forward. Bandy can go to centre forward. Jones, looking forward to Jones versus McKenzie. Wade in the middle. They have plenty of options to run on ball, and that's going to be a key tonight.
Time now for the toss of the coin. Sodas is with the man who will toss the coin, who knows all about state footy, Neil Curley.
He does. Neil, welcome along to the Adelaide Oval. Now, for a man who wore the South Australia colours with pride for 32 games, it must bring back some vivid memories tonight.
Yes, it certainly does. This ground, of course, we played a lot of them on this ground. And they were tough matches. It didn't matter if you played Western Australia or Victoria. They were tough games, and they were great games. And, of course, there were a lot more people here in those days, and it's a bit sad to just see so few people here, but I think we should be in for a good game. Studying both sides, I can't pick a winner.
Can't? Well, can you put yourself on the line and come up with one?
Well, South Australia, naturally.
Good on you. And Neil, you mentioned too, some of the games you played here, the ground wasn't in the condition it's in now.
This centre pitch area, we played here one day, there was 12 inches of mud. It was just an absolute bog, and to run through it was just about impossible. But have a look at tonight. Absolutely. If these guys can't play good football tonight, they'll never play it.
All right, Neil, go and do your official duties now. We'll get you to toss the coin. Anthony Jones from Western Australia, of course, and also Scotty Ball-Ace here, ready to toss the coin. Neil Curley, legend, inducted into the Australian Football Hall of Fame in 1997. Just shaking hands there with both the captains. Ready to toss the 20-cent piece. Not a lot of breeze around tonight, so toss has been called by Anthony Jones, and Western Australia have won, and they will kick to the left of screen, the main scoreboard end. As I mentioned, no breeze, so no advantage to either end.
Thanks for that, Sodas. Anthony Jones be very happy with his first job as captain.
He's got that right, and let's hope from a Western Australian point of view he can catch the ball. He's been in terrific form. 14 marks in a recent WAFL game for Claremont, so he will be one of the men that the talented midfield, the likes of O'Woden, Crabb and Pickett and the likes will try and go through avenue to goal tonight.
Fantastic atmosphere at the Adelaide Oval. You've called plenty of cricket here, but never a game of football.
First time I've been here for a football match. I'm normally used to being high up in the Bradman stand during the summer for Test and One-Day National Cricket, but any time you come here, day or night, summer or winter, there is something special about the Adelaide Oval. It's one of the most picturesque sporting venues, no matter what the code is anywhere in the world.
Australians all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soul and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
just a few minutes away from the start of the game now. We won't see, I assume, too much tagging in this game. Right, it'll all be just how it pans out to the two sides, Andrew.
I just really think that Jeremy Clayton is one that Western Australia will have to actually address. I don't think you can let him run around like an unregistered job. I think he's going to hurt you.
South Australian coaching bench there. Interesting. I think I saw Michael Maney's going to tell us what's going on with the weather for a start. Michael.
Well, I haven't quite got the drips coming off the nose at the moment. It's around about 12 degrees in Adelaide at the moment, so it's going to be cool, but the players won't mind that. A little bit of dew on the ground, and that'll get a little bit worse as the game goes on, but expecting a wonderful game and no breeze to speak of, so that's a good thing. I think the players will enjoy the conditions tonight.
A WA flavour in the South Australian ruck tonight too. Craig Parry, who has rucked in the past for Subiaco in the WAFL, is up against Alan Ames, leading the ruck somewhat surprisingly ahead of the likes of Newick and Bandy. And this state clash underway here at the Adelaide Oval. Neither ruckman effective at their first tilt of the footy. Gallagher gets a quick hand pass away, and South Australia kicking to the right of screen after Anthony Jones won the toss. And the mark taken out wide here by Campbell, Norwood player.
Here's the problem with a small centre half forward. They haven't got a sole target to go through at half forward.
Back to Eichner. Eichner gets it on quickly out towards right half forward. That's not a bad pass, and a good sliding mark coming in on that occasion by Warren, and he kicks into the man on the mark. Straight into Aidan Parker, who's had some time over here in the past on the Adelaide rookie list, playing in the SANFL, and a boundary throw-in.
Benny Warren in his first game for South Australia. He missed out last year through injury, and just a mistake with his first touch of the game. Harry perhaps had the better of that, but now the West Australians work it to Woden, down to half forward. Over the back, touching it first was ball. Got it off to Eichner, he's in trouble. Eichner got the hand pass away eventually over the boundary line. What a start. So you've got the South Australian bench down there.
Yeah, certainly have. Nearest to camera there, Adam Fisher, the late inclusion. Port captain Mark Clayton, Stevie Kenner, and also big Brett O'Hara.
Good of them to help you out too, Neil. WA with numbers on the front of their jumpers. No reciprocal lights for the visiting commentator as the ball's gone out on the wing.
And Theo Adams is a man that's gone straight to Jeremy Clayton, so he appears to have the job to shut down Clayton tonight.
Interesting, Ames took the centre ruck contest. Now Bandy has done the last couple here on these boundary throw-ins. Parry in front wins it down. Ball ace went without the footy. Armstrong, a hurry kick forward for WA. Almost a clever mark in front. It's been well rowed by Saletich. A high kick towards the goal square. Maguire outnumbered back there. Ames comes in to issue the contest. Socket off the ground then. Wide by Powell for South Australia. Maguire has followed up, and in the end, the ball beats him over the boundary line. We mentioned at the top of our coverage, Maguire there wrapped up for the cool weather, wearing the two Guernseys tonight. Now this time Parry and Ames, as it was at the centre bounce. Leaving the ball behind there was Adams. Opportunity here working in a confined space. Jeremy Clayton gets back the defensive hand pass, and the Crow Eaters to clear.
Not for long though. Immediately taken by WA, and Armstrong will come back inside their forward 50. Loose kick. Maguire came on the lead. It beat him. It'll come to Clayton, and he tries to clear again and almost gave it straight back to Armstrong. Backwell now will pick it up. He's on centre wing. He can go to half forward where Warren was. Warren slipped over, and so WA with a chance to come away through North. Gee, the skills are pretty ordinary at the moment. I don't know if the pressure's all that great. Keevers now, chance to go to the outer side of the ground. Jones overran it, the captain, Anthony Jones. Now it's come to the back. McKenzie works the Sheedy. Sheedy over the top of the hand pass. Wasn't the best, but he'll get the 1-2 and go onto his left foot. Gee, the ground must be a bit slippery because that's Inkster inside 50 with the kick. There's been some poor skills, as I said. And that'll be out of bounds in the forward pocket for South Australia, their first entry inside their forward line.
Just get the feel both sides are finding each other, finding their feet at the moment. You're right, the skill hasn't been great. Been a lot of nervous young players out there. Both teams have a relatively young list.
Bandy and Parry. And he got rid of him, didn't really win it down. Kane Hayes tries to crash through. A hand pass to Bandy, gave it back towards him again. Gets it off towards Basong, a Simpson medalist against Victoria a few years ago. Kicks out wide to the outer flank. Jones conceding front position. Well done, not quite. Unable to keep the ball in play, Mackenzie. Michael Money, who's nice and warm on the WA bench.
Well, they'd like it in there too, Glenn. Shane Barros, Luke Newick, Jackson Crabb and Clancy Rutherford. And, boys, it really is slippery down here. I think we need to cut them a bit of slack.
A couple of tough nuts there, Barros and Crabb on the bench first up for Western Australia. Opportunity for Keevers. He takes out Howard. He gets a quick hand pass to back. He couldn't do anything with it. Stripped away by Mark Wegg. Hand pass to Bandy. Sweeps one out wide. Keevers has made a prominent start. Bouncing over the outer wing. In fact, that was Jones. Squaring it towards half forward. Fisted away by Thomas. The little excitement machine. Pickett there. Goes to Maguire. Takes it in the gloved hands. This will be the first legitimate shot on goal from either team 5 minutes in.
It was great play by Alistair Pickett. Went front and centre from the punch. Just led off his leg there, Maguire, and it made it a really difficult quick. We get a look here on replay. Maguire's led down the middle where the actual lead would have been to the pocket. So very high skills by Alistair Pickett.
Maguire's kicked 29 goals, 11 this season for his Waffle Club Swan Districts, and he gets his first in state colours, and just the start that WA needed. Tonight, Andrew, they'll do their best work early if they can try to get the crowd here quiet by getting on top.
Oh, absolutely. Here in South Australia, obviously, we're trying to get the crowd involved with it. If Western Australia can silence the crowd, you put some serious doubts in the South Australians' mind. I like the matchup of Bandy. Once he goes into the middle, he adds an extra ruck rover with his aerobic capacity. He's going to really test Craig Parry.
Well, Ames is testing Parry in the middle, I would have thought as well. He's giving away a few inches.
That's my one up.
And again, well, Parry did well. Used his body well. Got it to Gowans, taken the ground immediately. In fact, it was Powell under there as Darryl Hart and his coaching staff look on. Still in the very hard centre of the ground, this ball. Ames got the ball down that time. Smothered kick of Armstrong's. In tight, Clayton. Ames did well, got the hand pass wide. Now a fumble. Clayton, geez, had a lot of the ball early, hasn't he? Just got it out the back, and now South Australia's created a loose man out wide. It's Borlase. Borlase into half forward with the kick. Inkster is on his left foot. He'll want to go. This side of the ground, he's got Backwell, and the other player falling down there was Parry. So Parry looks up inside 50, goes long looking for Shell. Big fly over the top, and the ball out of bounds in the forward pocket for South Australia.
You would think South Australia would hit the top of the square. From here, where you see where the balls end up, it's very wide in the pocket. Very deep pockets here at Adelaide Oval. Very hard to kick goals from. If you're a South Australian, you'd like to see that at the top of the square.
Bandy wins it down. Backwell fighting against the numbers. Armstrong, a quick hand pass to Webb. He gets one out, and then a quick clearing kick by Woden out wide, but it's going to come back in a hurry. Gee, Jeremy Clayton will have leather poisoning. He squares it towards centre half forward, and a good mark. Well, making light of what could be a slippery ball. Howard on the lead. Marks right on the attacking 50. No breeze to speak of here tonight in Adelaide. Storm may test him from about 55. He bombs it long. He will carry the line, not quite, through the hands of Shell. He's offline anyway, and the South Australians open up with a behind.
I think Peter German would be having little thoughts about Jeremy Clayton at the moment. He's getting way too much of the footy for a Western Australia.
Bandy went wide with Jones. That's Clint Jones sliding into the ball. 70, 80 metres from the South Australian goal, defensive goal. Jones chipping back inside to Bandy, just able to get it above the ground. Nothing much on, but he just squares it nicely in the end. Hayes quickly down to half forward. Archie leads his man out, punches. Forward it comes, Pickett immediately gathers it. Nice smother coming in there, the desperation from Whiteman. Comes back again to Hayes. He's flanked at the back by Rumble. That ball smothered again. Good pressure from South Australia. They get it forward to Inkster. Whack! Gone! Ball caught in now underneath. And we will get a ball up, will we? Yes, we will at half forward. What a solid bump that was.
Ben Keevers.
And that's exactly what you expect at this level when you fumble. If you're going to fumble under pressure, you're going to get nailed.
WA umpire Greg Bandy restarts play. Bandy for WA wins it down. Carey doing the roving. Inkster gets it. Hurried left foot kick. It'll land about 40 metres out. The fist in there from Theo Adams. trying to stand in the tackle back there in defence was Rumble. The umpire says he'll ball it up about 40 metres out from South Australia's goal. I think we already got the feeling, Andrew, it's going to be a fairly low-scoring affair tonight.
Think of the conditions, and look, the amount of numbers that both coaches have pushed around the footy, it's going to be very difficult to have clean hands in there.
Harry and Bandy. Parry wins it down. Opportunity for Clint Jones. In fact, he leaves it for Woden, the 2000 Brownlow medalist. Kicks wide to the skipper, Anthony Jones. That was almost a throw. It has been paid as a throw. They need to be careful. Backwell almost giving away 50, running on. The ball will come back, and Anthony Jones has it. The centre-half forward having to lead a long way down the ground. He finds Bandy. Bandy along the boundary line, and the mark taken out there by Kane Hayes. Hayes chips it up. That's an awkward delivery for Mark Webb. Knocked off the top there by South Australia's Eichner. Ends up with Gowans. He kicks it short and turns it over. Kane Hayes taking it on the outer wing.
Hayes slowing things down, looking up towards half forward. Maguire with the lead from full forward. In the end, tried to drop it in short. That was fortuitous. It fell for Salicic. Inside 50, looking for Maguire. Archie comes through. Now it falls for Maguire. Hand pass to Armstrong off the left foot. The snap is wide and just through for the minor score. The margin, 6 points in favour of WA.
It appears early as though neither key forwards are going to have a great effect on the game. It's going to be the crumbing forwards heavily involved. West Australia certainly look more dangerous so far.
Wallace has played on. He has to go dangerously back towards the centre square. The mark taken in there by Gallagher. Gallagher now has Archie free just back into the centre circle. He marks and plays on. Kicks with the left boot out towards half forward. In front was Kenner, brought from behind. Opportunity in there for Webb, but he concedes front position to Gowans. Almost into his back was Clint Jones. Jones over the footy, has to tap it out in a hurry. Jeremy Clayton receives the hand pass. Kicks inside the attacking 50, and he gets away with the use of the body there. Hayden North marks and plays on. He comes across to Bandy, just over the outstretched hand of Backwell. Hand pass to Woden, to Hayes, who's been busy early. Feigned the hand pass, now with the left boot to the lead of Ames. Taken under the ball illegally. Archie penalised there. In fact, to Hewitt, it was on the lead, and Hewitt has the free kick. Clint Jones on the boundary line. He's coming off for a breather. Well, this is poor checking, but not a good kick. Mark Webb vacuums on the half volley. Hand passes to Armstrong. Feigns around Gallagher. Squares it up. It'll land about 25 metres out. Jones, strong mark. Well, wasn't well read in flight. The ball coming in on that occasion by the South Australian defence, and Jones has taken the mark directly in front, 25 metres out from goal.
Yeah, just kept his eye on the footy there. Mark McKenzie just lost touch with him with his body, and unfortunately Brett O'Hara couldn't get a hand on it. Look, important goals. It looks as though it's going to be a low-scoring night. Western Australia need to make the most of their opportunities. Put some real scoreboard pressure on South Australia.
Anthony Jones guides it home. So a dream start for WA. They kicked the opening 2 goals of the game.
Seems as though at the moment the pace of West Australia is also worrying South Australia. We've seen them very busy around half forward. He's just a missed tackle. Just goes to the top of the square, and we see McKenzie at the back, just gets it body on, then just leaves it up to Brett O'Hara. Golden rule in the back line. If your man goes, you've got to go. McKenzie elected to let his former Eagles teammate. And unfortunately, Jones was able to come over the Tucker mark. West Australia looked very busy early.
Yeah, boys, Clancy Rudick has gone onto the ground for WA. Gets a run with roll on a lot of occasions, so you may see him go to Jeremy Clayton. Jones is off, as Clancy.
And immediately, South Australia concede possession through somebody entering into the square a bit early. So Ames will take the free kick. Left footer drives it long, looking for Maguire, coming out. Archie from the side, punched it. Jones roved it. Open goal. Bounce, bounce, goal.
Centre clearance become all important. South Australia under pressure. Get a mistake where someone goes in the middle and they win it out of the silt. Look, that's the value of Jones there. Hard match-up. Saw him just take a mark. Then he goes front and centre. He's got the athleticism to go front and centre. Great play. Doesn't always need to have a big gun full forward to actually make a contest. They just kicked it long to a 6-footer. Makes a contest. Jones gets front and centre. Very simple, very effective.
Captain leading by example. 2 in the space of as many minutes. Ames in the ruck, this time against O'Hara. Backwell slammed into the ground by Hayden North. Another stalemate, another ball up. Start that WA needed.
Hands up.
O'Hara and Ames again. O'Hara knocks it forward. Woden with strength there. Goes to ground though in the end. And in partnership with Campbell. And another ball up.
And it's achieved its desired effect. The South Australian crowd very, very quiet.
Darryl Hart peering on.
Let me get in, boys. Arms up, don't hold.
Give instructions from the umpire to both ruckmen. Ames and O'Hara. Armstrong picks it out of mid-air, but his hand pass has been intercepted, and the long, powerful kick going forward by Sheedy. Over the back, an opportunity for South Australia. They can mount something. Head over the footy. Clayton doing it all at the moment. Snaps on goal. Will he bend it back enough? He doesn't. Misses to the near side. South Australia doubling their tally now. 2 behinds.
That centre break I spoke of, they were to win it out of the middle, get it forward just to a contest. Jeremy Clayton front and centre.
Jeremy Clayton, busiest player on the ground, at 7 possessions.
Western Australia quick to move it to the far side of the ground. And North with the mark. South Australia, you detect getting a few more players around the ball now. Make it a little bit harder for WA to run the ball, although this time they've done all right. Adams down to half forward. Just slips over the back. Thomas with his pace. Salicic gets possession though. The hand pass comes back to Ames, loads it up into that dangerous park, 10 metres from, or 20 metres from the goals, off the ground and finally rushed through by South Australia. And it was rushed through by Daniel Schell, who's supposed to be at full forward.
It's actually his opponent that run down the ground, but great disciplined play by Western Australia. Kick it to the hot spot at all stages. We've seen a couple of times they've been rewarded with a Jones goal. Just unfortunately couldn't get a crumb of them.
Backwell links up with Shell under minimal pressure, runs it up towards centre wing. Kicks then up towards a contest. Bandy in front, brings it to ground. But an opportunity in there for South Australia's Mark Clayton. Kicks it up towards full forward. Back against the flow is Keevers. He's already put some body pressure on. He fell over a ghost that time. Bounces up. Minimal pressure back there by the South Australian forwards. And Woden takes the mark. He then kicks it back to Aidan Parker. Parker now will chip it towards Keevers. He can man up a little bit here. Keevers from just shy of centre half back. Spots out Rutherford, who started the game on the bench. He hand passes to Hayden North, streaming through the middle. Good pick up on the half volley by Hewitt, but he's taken to ground and he pulled the ball back in. Now it jars out free. Hand pass comes out from Sheedy and quick kick forward by Ball-Ace. Off hands, the hand pass comes back towards Woden. Woden out wide. Armstrong is the target. With him Backwell, did well. Fight for it on the ground now. A clever play by Armstrong, the former Melbourne Demon on the West Coast Eagles rookie list. His kick touched off the boot. Ames can't keep it inside the field of play, and we'll have a ball in at left full forward for WA.
Very much reactionary footy at the moment by South Australia. West Australia look fluent as they bring the ball out of half-pack. They're able to run the footy, hit their targets up forward. South Australia, it's real desperation stuff, just under pressure at the moment.
Jackson Crabb, we just saw there, waiting to come onto the ground. Mark Clayton clears the ball. The Claytons have had plenty of it. And he gets it to centre wing and just over the line before North can control the ball properly. See Jackson Crabb about to come on for his first run. Great start by Western Australia and lead by 3 goals. O'Hara and Bandy. O'Hara tried to take down Bandy and rather than worry about the ball. Crabb with a fresh air hand pass. And ball will eventually be trapped in there. We'll get another bounce on centre wing. The West Australians have certainly shown they mean business thus far. WA forward line certainly looks far more open than South Australia's as Mark Clayton gets in there and kick forward, got it to Jeremy Clayton. He broke away into Howard. One grab, slippery ball, got away from him. The song off the ground, down into half forward again. Ames should collect it, does collect it. Salicic at the front, couldn't take it. Ball still not WA's way. Gee, they're doing well. Here's North, got the hand pass out to Ames. Quick kick forward, up in that danger area again. And Corey Archie slams it over the line for South Australia, under siege at the moment.
And they certainly are. Western Australia winning all the contested ball at the moment. There's a contest there winning it. Just a dangerous kick by Jeremy Clayton just to bring it back into the middle. It certainly opened up the Western Australian forward line.
Newick, lovely palm down to Crabb, fresh on the ground. He's been penalised for holding the ball. So a free kick to South Australia at left half back. See the tackle there. Well, he did take them on. He certainly had time to hand pass it away. Meanwhile, Backwell has kicked it about as deep into defence as you can get. How's mark?
There's a blue on, boys.
Little bubble back at centre half back for South Australia.
That's it, thank you.
And they're going to get the free kick at that point. And it's kicked in the end by Eitner towards the outer wing. Well, the hand pass has gone away in a hurry, and Hayes is able to steal it. 55 out unguarded. Goal square. Have they got their thoughts? No. You see there the dew on the grass. That ball actually slid as it hit the deck. And he's missed to the left-hand side.
Brett O'Hara coming off the ground for South Australia. Coming on is Craig Parry. He'll get the chance to ruck against his former Subiaco teammate Luke Newick.
South Australia trying to move the ball quickly now. And they're in trouble and making some bad decisions. That time Gallagher turned it over. Western Australia the other way. Newick, awful kick. McKenzie should pick it up and clear for South Australia. He does to this side of the ground. Gallagher in space. Backwell. Have a look at those boots. Now ball ace. In the middle he's got Archie who's sneaking forward. Big Archie. Good grab. Two-grabber. Gave it off to Clayton. Surrounded straight away. Clayton had to give it up. Back it comes to Gallagher, then wide to ball ace. Gallagher taken down late. Play on advantage. Warren leads up. And the ball nicely cut off by the WA defenders, working well as a team.
It's a mixture of the West Australian pressure, but also the decision-making of the South Australians on when to give the handball, when to call for the handball. Just need to clean that area up in their game.
Newick and Parry to contest in the ruck. Australia still looking for their first goal, 21 minutes into the opening term. Chance in there for Jackson Crabb. Shocking kick from the defensive 50. Toted out towards the boundary line. Rudolph has shunted off it. Well done now by Mark Clayton. Tackled and upended. Ball still in dispute. Sheedy was in there, so too Gallagher. Gets it along the ground. Clever evasive skills by McKenzie. Beats it off then towards the teammate who spirals at Claude Sheedy. Good defensive fist in there by Parker. Still Western Australia looking for it. Hayden North, who started the game very well. Hand passes out wide and unable to keep it inside the field of play is Rumble. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Peter German to his immediate left there. Phil Lamb, the chairman of selectors for Western Australia.
Very happy with their plans thus far. We're into time on in the opening quarter. 21 plays 2. 3-goal, 1 lead for Western Australia. Now Jeremy Clayton off the left leg. It's awkward. But it's in a dangerous position. It's Shell reaches over the top. Play on. Warren will collect it. Hand pass off to Inkster. He's a left footer. Tries to square it. Can't. Rumble intercepts. Now the hand pass back to Parker. Takes his time. Gets it wide for Western Australia. And they get out of trouble. And they were in deep trouble for a while. Now Jones cuts back across the centre on this side of the ground. But it was too big a kick. He had a player loose. Now Adams through half forward. He goes with a kick. He looks for Maguire on the lead, traps it well. Those gloved hands working perfectly. Squares it up. South Australia with the numbers. They should be able to take it away. They do. Whiteman sweeps the hand pass wide. And then the kick looking for ball ace, but just off the turf and out of bounds on centre wing, just slightly forward of centre wing for Western Australia.
Mark Webb wanting to come back onto the ground. In interchange area at the moment. Just trying to keep warm. Boundary throw in almost directly in front of us. This magnificent old members stand area. Jackson Crabb over the back. It sounded like it was touched off hands as he kicked it forward. Maguire with strength gets it off his non-preferred right boot. It's dribbling home and then there's a behind. Just grazed the inside of the goalpost. So a lucky let off there for South Australia.
Just causing too many problems up forward. Maguire, you can see that just. Let's have a look at this roll towards the goals. Oh. Geez, the padding on the post has certainly saved South Australia there.
Needed the flipper and he ended up with the Roman.
Whiteman goes for Archie inside the ball ace through the centre and up towards full forward. He goes long towards Shell. Over the back, Warren. Dispossessed quickly. Now Warren will get another chance. Warren off the right foot. South Australia's first coming up, is it? No, another behind. Away to the right from Benny Warren.
just been starved of opportunities so far, Ben Warren. They really haven't brought the ball forward with any fluency. And he's more of a leading player, a leading target player, and just haven't hit him with a kick so far.
Kane Hayes restarts play. He looks down there for his teammate across half-back, Basong, and he takes the mark on the defensive 50. Basong gives it back to Hayes. Hayes a measured kick, looking for Woden. He conceded front position, but then Campbell, who nipped in front, couldn't take the mark, and it's gone out of play. And going out of play also Woden, interchanging for Mark Webb. Brownlow medalist, 200 games in the AFL. Before being delisted by his second club, Collingwood. He's been prolific for East Fremantle, averaging over 30 disposals a game this season in the WAFL.
He's had 6 this quarter.
And a player of quality. And there's Basong. Bruce it over his shoulder, back towards the wing. Courage shown there by Gallagher, couldn't mark it. Jones, hand passes to Webb, fresh back on the ground. Looks for Hewitt up forward. Archie used the body well. Holds him up at centre half-back. South Australia can go round the Chapel Stand wing.
Spring it well to Inkster, but Inkster was caught trying to come back on his right leg. Instead was able on his left to find Shell leading up with the long sleeves. Shell quickly, well done by WA. The smother affected and Newick able to get away from half-back. Kick through centre square. And in dispute, neither side able to get the ball. Finally it comes up. Clint Jones just pokes it forward. And a Mark Reitner steadies, comes this side of the ground. Ball tapped away by Keevers, and eventually 2-on-1. Keevers did very well to get it out of bounds. At half forward, WA will set up again. South Australia yet to score a goal in the opening term of this match, and Daryl Hart, centre of screen there, the South Australian coach would be particularly concerned.
Just really concerned with their decision-making at the moment. They're just taking wrong decisions, taking wrong options, kicking short the 50-50 contest.
Boundary throw in front, one down by Parry. Kick by Eichner is blanketed. Getting it forward as Ames. Maguire there, but he's stripped of the ball. Good play, running off the full back line by Powell. Bumps it into the middle of the ground. The fist in there by Basong. Opportunity for Clint Jones. He gets shunted to ground. Out comes Jeremy Clayton, South Australia's best player by a mile in this opening quarter, but he hand passes to a teammate, Campbell, who's under siege. And we'll have a ball up in the centre square.
Easy. I didn't see anything. Jeremy Clayton's really been the only clean South Australian. Everyone else seems to fumble and be struggling with what little dew there is on the ground.
Daniel Bandy about to come back in. He won't have much game time replacing Hill. We're not far from quarter time. Oh, again, Campbell is upended. Well, he's a hot item at the moment, Campbell. That time Hayden North, the man putting him to turf.
Straight up again,
Australia certainly wouldn't want to concede a late goal here. Be a very handy break to WA in slippery and very cool conditions. Opportunity for the skipper Borlace to Parry. Parry gets a hand pass back. Well, that was crude. And an automatic or an easy free kick there. And taking it is Whiteman. He's been told he's played on. Pickett couldn't quite smother the kick. Comes out wide, back will the target. Good fist in there by Rutherford. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
So it is just curious about WA. They're running a lot of interchange, is that right?
Well, they are certainly moving a lot more through their system than South Australia. South Australia just had Mark Clayton on and off, but certainly Western Australia have had Woden off and a couple of midfield players, Krabs, come on. So they are ahead of South Australia, certainly making changes.
South Australia keeping the faith. Gowan's out in front of Shell. Good hands. Possibly the glove helped that one. And Shell now will line up. He'll probably kick from just outside 50. And he'll do well to carry the distance, I would have thought, Andrew.
Will certainly struggle, but look, a badly needed goal for South Australia. Just to give him some momentum in a quarter time.
Plays back, makes a lie of me, makes the distance easy. Accuracy was there. Daniel Shell, a two-time Farmer medalist in the SANFL as the leading goal kicker. Nice goal. And South Australia, as you say, badly needed.
Certainly just give him some momentum going into quarter time, and Central District's teammates there. It's a great kick on his non-preferred side. Shell's just clean. Not too much of West Australian fullback could do about that. And importantly for South Australia, after they've had a couple of opportunities late in this quarter, went back and nailed the goal. And as I said, it just gives them some momentum and just puts some doubts in the minds of Western Australia.
Ball thrown up in the middle. Parry wins it on the way down. Ball lays a quick hand pass and ends up with Gallagher. Gallagher comes out wide. Hayden North trying to close the opponent down there, Campbell. Campbell, evasive skills, but he left the footy behind. It was held. The umpire saying he wasn't in possession when Hayden North laid the tackle. It was more by accident than design, that free kick. Campbell was actually trying to keep control of the footage. He goes to right half forward. Shell in the mix again. Over the back, Crabb. Hand pass away to Keevers. Keevers goes across half back and hits Ames on the chest. The long striding Talon Ames goes over the defensive 50, touches it down, and now kicks into open territory on the wing. Theo Adams perhaps was the target. He'll get there right near the boundary line. And in fact, the ball has gone over just forward of right wing for Western Australia. Peter German in the foreground in the front row there. Pretty happy at the moment with proceedings.
Quick one for Andrew Rogers, boys. Stephen Kenner, with his leg speed, hasn't been on for SA at the moment. Would you whip him on?
Yeah, I think that's not really their problem at the moment. It's more actually winning the contested footy. It's all right to have leg speed. No good if you haven't got the footy.
Pickett, he's got plenty of leg speed. Just pops up the hand pass. Well met by Maguire. South Australia with the numbers, but only briefly. Now Clint Jones gets it around the corner. South Australia with the numbers again, and that time going back bravely was Powell. This side of the ground, he's got Backwell in space, not for long. Bandy shuts him down. He can go by foot over the top to Whitener, who's got plenty of pace. The ball sits up beautifully for him. Looks down towards Shell, who comes on the lead. And Shell brings it to the front nicely. Howard was there. And siren time as Howard is taken over the line in a big way. And WA would be very happy with that first quarter. As we look there, 3-4-22, Western Australia, South Australia, 1-3-9.
13-point margin in favour of Western Australia. They kicked the first 3 goals of the game before Daniel Shell got South Australia on the board from a goal point of view. 28 minutes into that opening term. Talon Ames again to lead the ruck for Western Australia in their second quarter. He's got a big lead, and he has the better of Parry. Down to Woden, the man we're looking at a moment ago. Kicks to half forward with a good mark back there, and the hand pass laid off immediately to Thomas. Kicks it up towards the middle of the ground. Chance in there for South Australia again. They keep the ball alive through Sheedy. Out wide, not a tidy looking kick from Gowans. Under pressure, Campbell. Will it go out of play? It will. Boundary throw in. Western Australia maintain this pressure. They certainly have 3 very good and agile big men, Bandy, Newick and Ames. Already we've seen them rotate through the middle and at times through the interchange bench as well. But Bandy and Ames are very talented up forward, can take the big mark. As the hand pass came from Woden to Keevers, he kicks towards the outer wing. Jones outnumbered 2-1. Gallagher taps it too hard though. It gets to Kane Hayes, was intended for Inkster, and then Clint Jones goes out wide, the smallest man in the game. Pickett does well on the second attempt to Kane Hayes. Hayes sweeps a hand pass to the skipper Jones. Hand pass to Webb, who's a left footer. Grubbers one inside 50. Running back in there is Rutherford. Coming out from the goal square is Maguire. Now an opportunity for Evan Hewitt, and he finishes off for Western Australia. Well, not really the sort of goal Andrew you'd expect from a big man, but he did very well there with a slippery ball below his knees.
They just kept it alive as they went forward. They kept numbers around the footy. They kept trying to keep it out. You can see here it's just bobbling around. Just gets it going our way. And there's Evan Hewitt just sitting out, not really involved with the play. See, it just gets tapped out there. And look, they are very good at using the space. They use the space well out. They switch the play out of the back half. They found space in their forward line. They kept the ball going their way. And in these conditions, it's working very well for them.
Well, it's a good track if you're a West Australian at the moment. Ames opposed to Parry. Does his own roving. Parry can't successfully get it out of the centre circle, and that's the smaller circle. Now they're trying to crawl their way through James Gowans to get out of the bigger circle. We'll get a ball up eventually. Richard Williams, very experienced South Australian umpire, to throw the ball up. Tend to throw the ball up, the South Australian umpires, except if they're AFL listed, then they'll bounce it. Jeremy Clayton working in confined space was beautiful, and then the delivery nicely done by Inkster on the lead, took the mark. Now he's waiting. Warren and Shell both went and then propped, so Inkster waited, and then the kick wasn't the best, but it was for Shell coming across the front. I was going to say it wasn't the greatest. It looked like Western Australia was going to be able to cut it out with Woden sitting under it, though. Shell came across and took a mark 25 metres out.
And you touched on it well there, Neil. Both are full forwards for their clubs and both are normally the leading targets. At the moment, they're struggling to create space for each other.
Shell with South Australia's only goal at the 28-minute mark of the opening quarter. Now he's got 2.
Listen, Tim Inkster needs to get lively at half forward. He is an impact player. And just a beautiful delivery there by Jeremy Clayton. And it was just a beautifully weighted kick out in front. Here it is, just on replay. Didn't try to punch it too hard. Kicked it on Shane Woden's head. That enabled Daniel Shell to have a really good jump at it. And he looks as though he may be the forward that might be able to drag South Australia back into this game.
Benny Warren's just come off the ground for a spell. A little bit of a smaller player gone down there. Stevie Kennett from South Adelaide's headed down the forward line.
Sandover medalist Shane Barros wanting to go back on the ground for Western Australia as well. Ames in the ruck once again in the middle, opposed to Parry. Parry's had 3 men to ruck against so far tonight. The ball's not going to come out in a hurry. He'll go through it again.
And South Australia have a mismatch with Bryce Campbell up against Aidan Parker. That's why you find that they're trying to get Shane Barros onto the ground to change that match-up around.
Now Newick in the ruck this time. Jeremy Clayton's hand pass knocked down. Adams slung into the turf by Ball Ace. Desperation shown. Jeremy Clayton gets the hand pass out. It comes wider still with pace. Thomas links up by hand with Gowans. Left foot kick direct down the middle, but coming across to stymie that attack is Rumble. Rumble, but no one standing the mark. Pinches a metre or 2. Goes to the outer side, and Newick, his Subiaco teammate, links up with another one in Pickett. So a hat-trick of Subiaco players looking to go further afield to Ames, but chopped off there and taken out of play by Eichner. The opening 5 minutes of the second term, and Shane Barros is about to come on now with Parker. You ever thought of coaching Andrew? We got that perfect at that point. Ball thrown in on the outer side. The silence, I think, is no. One down by Parry. Stay with us here. Parry gets his own roving. Hand pass it out towards the boundary line. Armstrong, quick hand pass to Clint Jones. Hurry kick forward. It lands fortuitously with Pickett. The little man plays on over the top to Jones. Can he get his 3rd goal? Pulls it across the body. Archie back. Did he get a hand on it? I don't think he did. The WA skipper's got his 3rd.
Been very lively as Jones just getting away from Mackenzie way too easy, but importantly you can see here they've just got numbers as they run forward. They're just dropping off the pack of the Western Australians, and the South Australians are working with them, and just good work by Evan Newitt. We'll get a look at this in replay. Just turns it around the corner, and there's Evan Newitt, just works Corey Archie away from the contest. 2 goals to 1, exactly the start that Western Australia would have wanted in this second quarter.
Well, they maintain that margin, a 2 to 3 goal margin that they got early on, and they've maintained that. 19 points at the moment. South Australia out of the middle again through Jeremy Clayton, down to Howard at half forward. Comes to the front and nicely roved. Ball comes out for South Australia towards goal, and here's Kenner. Kenner couldn't grab the ball under pressure. Now Inkster gets around his left foot. It was touched off the boot. Shell down there. Rumble knocks it away from him. It'll be rushed through. Taking it over quite content was Rutherford.
Just Tim Inkster just starting to get a little bit busy now. Needs to be heavily involved in the half forward to provide options. Because they're only small up forward, he now becomes a marking leading player.
Barros to Woden, the margin an even 3 goals. One offer short on the defensive 50 was Rutherford. That's ignored. Woden will get the hurry up now. He goes in the direction of Kane Hayes. Had to sit and wait. Spoilt by Clayton. Over the back. It's taken there by Parry. A hand pass to Ball Ace. On in turn to Thomas, who gets it now towards Jeremy Clayton. Good peripheral vision. Rather than just throwing it on the boot towards full forward, he's found Gowans. And Gowans within range here with the man on the mark about 45 out from goal.
He's got a feeling it might stretch him a little bit. He's not the longest kick in the competition. This will take his very best.
And Gallagher off. Where would they be, though, without Jeremy Clayton?
Yeah, exactly right. He's been clean. He's been the one that's trying to set everything up. Just needs some help in the midfield.
Gowans plants his left foot on 50. That is a very good, powerful kick, and they get another one. So it's 2 goals apiece in the opening 8 minutes of the second term.
And just a good decision there by Jeremy Clayton to bring it back into the middle. You can see there, Shane Thomas gets dealt with after. Just instead of going to the pocket, worked it back into the middle, and Gowans with great courage to go back into space. Takes a mark. Thought it would have stretched him from just on 50. Just timed it beautifully. Didn't try to overkick it. Get the answering goal. The game's starting to break open a bit now.
Two busiest players on the ground are in the South Australian midfield. Jeremy Clayton's had 16 possessions. Scott Borlase 13.
The dulcet tones of Ian Moggridge, our statistician, as Western Australia will take the ball through Webb out of the centre break and down towards Hewitt, who Archie looked like he was in the back and then some. Finally, well, Whiteman looked like he took a player high in Armstrong, and finally the ball will be bounced up. So a couple of free kicks maybe could have gone to the Sandgropers there.
You'd be happy being a WA player knowing that you're playing on madness.
Yeah.
That would put a shiver down your back.
Fractured his skull at one stage last year. Did Whiteman, and ball in dispute again, just outside WA's forward 50.
That's better from South Australia. We saw them, they were in closer to the contest, trying to lay it down. Early on in this game, Western Australia were getting inside them at the contested ball.
O'Hara, and there was some shepherding off the ball, perhaps, was there? It'll be a free kick to South Australia. And Backwell, interesting story in Backwell, he did, for our WA viewers, he did it a very unusual thing in the off-season as the ball's punched out on centre wing. Yes, Brett Backwell decided that his ring finger was giving him enough trouble and decided to have it lopped off so he could play better, a la Daniel Chick in the AFL. And he also made an appearance as a result of that, Brett Backwell. They took him to the Letterman show in the United States. They were so fascinated by his story.
Sheedy throws a kick forward, socket off the ground by Kenner, but Webb there to mop up. Hand passes over the top towards the wing and north. He's got the ruckman Newick outside him, accepts the hand pass, lopes to the wing proper. Hand passes back to north. Did well in a tight confines to Basong. Basong likewise to Rutherford, who likes to run. Hasn't got space. Goes to Maguire. Not a badly weighted kick, but Archie got a hand on it. Opportunity for Jones. Look at the tackle may have lingered. Deep in defence. Working hard there is Powell, and the ball has gone out of play.
South Australia's experiment of Dean Howard at centre-half forward is over for the moment. Coming on now, Mark Clayton, who's played a bit up forward for Port Adelaide this year. And just on Brett Backwell, you mentioned he was on the Letterman show. The highlight of that, his whole trip, was the fact that he was on with Terry Hatcher from Desperate Housewives and got to party with her afterwards.
Trust you to know that sort of information. Webb gets the hand pass to Keevers. Keevers a left-footer to the top of the goal square. Maguire the lead, couldn't take the mark. Strong body work in there by Rutherford. Maguire calling for a holding the ball decision. Umpire Bandy from WA having none of it. And a dangerous situation here for South Australia. The ball will be bounced about 40 metres out from their defensive goal line.
Maguire, with those two jumpers, might have thought he'd be a bit cold at full forward, but he's been plenty of action, been in plenty of action. He might be a bit warm now. Here's Clint Jones, who'll be able to pick it up and go to his left side. Immediately does so. Off the Rutherford, off his left leg, puts it into dangerous territory. Armstrong just pushed away, and as a result, South Australia will come away through. James Gowans didn't like what he saw forward of the play, decided to go to the boundary line and deliberate. And he will argue with that because he loves arguing, James Gowans. But
there's no doubt that's what he was attempting to do, because he had no one on offer down the ground.
Certainly it's a tough call, but look, it's the right call. To the letter of the law, that was his. That was what he was trying to do.
Now Newick, he'll kick 70 metres from goal, so he goes inside instead, and Hayes just kicks it long, 20 metres from goal. Jones almost with the row for Western Australia. Inkster back there to Backwell, fumbled, Maguire over it. And now finally they'll get it away through Borlase, goes wide and high. And South Australia under so much pressure. They'll be just happy to get this out of bounds. Instead, the hand pass comes back and WA forges forward. They spring the ball loose. In the middle it goes to Keevers. Keevers wants another hand pass, gets it wider still. And lining up for goal and kicking it was Newick. And has he kicked it? Way on the goal upper, I think he has. Fantastic finish from Newick. And they just worked the ball around the 50-metre arc until they got a free man.
And a free man hard to find because they had all 36 players in one half of the ground.
It's virtually a flood on. They just kept the ball alive, but it was just their forward line pressure, their ability to keep laying pressure that eventually South Australia turned it over. Western Australia got control of the footy and were able to find a free bloke just inside 50, and Newitt, he was a great kick, kicks a much-needed goal for Western Australia. Look, this margin is starting to blow out to a dangerous proportions if you're South Australian.
Daryl Hart has put big Craig Parry down the forward line. He's been picked up by 2004 Simpson medalist Chris Masson.
So O'Hara in the ruck now, opposed to Ames. One of their ruckmen, Newitt, getting that last goal. So Western Australia doing well in the big man department. Neither ruckman overly effective. O'Hara tries to do his own raving. Campbell is upended, bounces back up again. Hand passes out wide. Adams bullets his way through for WA. Then may have got into the back of Ingston. No free kick. Advantage free kick there. Mashidi was held after he got it to Kenner, who goes inside 50. Jeremy Clayton trying to do it overhead now. Ball ace taken high. It was unlucky there for Jackson Crabb because Ball ace was losing his footing there, losing his traction. But it was the correct decision. He was taken high. See Barros going in, but just as he went to turn there, Ball ace, his feet started to slip from underneath him.
Certainly didn't. Look, that's a really good what could happen in this second half. Players wearing moulded boots are going to start slipping as the ground gets dewy and dewer. Look, very lucky to get that free kick, but importantly went front and centre. South Australia's been screaming out for a crumbing forward.
Kick it on for Armstrong. As the dual Norwood best and fairest. Ball ace goes long and goes straight. And the skipper gets one back for South Australia. 14 minutes into the second term.
And South Australia just can't seem to get sort of multiple goals in a hurry to put some real pressure back on Western Australia. There's Clayton probably not really what he's desired to do. And Barros just a little bit too eager at the top of Ball ace. Gets a simple free kick and importantly goes back to the goal. Importantly now for South Australia, they need to win the next ball out of the middle, see if they can score again quickly and really put some pressure, some scoreboard pressure back on Western Australia.
Jackson Crabb on boys for Webb, Newick on for Vandy.
Campbell with possession, and he was quickly dispossessed. Crabb was in there. Now the tackle made on Rutherford by Backwell, and it's in dispute, and the ball travelled 10 metres one way, 10 metres the other, and finally we get another ball up with Richard Williams, the South Australian umpire, to put the ball in the air. A little bit of a nick perhaps over the eye of Ball ace as the ball again is still in that centre square and still in dispute. And it's almost like South Australia's woken up and decided, gee, this is a contest.
Just feel as though there's a lifted intensity at the moment. The South Australians are saying, OK, we know you're here to play. Let's increase our intensity level and see if you can come and play at that standard also.
Ball one down by South Australia, but trying to break through in there was Jackson Crabb. He's held up. So rather stagnant period of play. Daryl Hart of the South Australian match committee back within 2 goals. The margin was 13 points at quarter time. Ames wins it down. Quick hand pass came out from Sheedy. Then the high kick from Ball ace towards the attacking 50. Off hands it's worked to Campbell. His kick has touched off the boot. Coming out, Mark Clayton left the footy behind. Kane Hayes to Woden to Barros. Now in turn to Jackson Crabb from the defensive 50. The man who captained WA in their win against Queensland last year, kicks to the wing. Big leap by Talon Ames. And the ball has gone off hands out of bounds. Talon Ames, the leading ruckman this season in the WAFL, averaging 20 effective hit-outs a game. That was a big leap. So couldn't quite get purchase. Scored by Eichner's fifth as well as the ball is thrown in. One down in there by O'Hara. Under pressure in there was Keevers. Under plenty of pressure on the bottom of the pack as Parker. Crabb seemed to go in high, no free kick. Loose ball comes to Campbell. Hurries kick to full forward. Shell actually caught behind, had to fist it away. Keevers soccers off the ground. That was dangerous. Breaking through across halfback as North. Gets it off by hand to a teammate who was almost pushing the back Adams. Keevers now towards Woden. Gets it on now towards North. To Parker. This is better work by South Australia, the pressure. Mark Clayton gets it out by hand under pressure. They keep working it square. Sheedy with the footy now. Well tackled by Keevers, and Crabb can run onto it. And WA weather that storm by the South Australian forwards. Couple of bounces takes Crabb into WA's attacking half.
Anthony Jones called him to run, and as a result put himself out of position, and Mackenzie read it well for South Australia. Now he's got possession. Goes out the back to Powell. In the middle he's got Kenner. Kenner can take off. His nickname is Pace, and look at that. Just takes off really quickly. Down to half forward almost. got it there. Well done by Campbell. Got to his feet to Inkster. Off his left leg, his natural foot. Goes long. Shell got rid of his man. And took a nice mark. Goal coming up for South Australia. This will lift the crowd.
Just get a feel South Australians lifting at the moment. They've increased their intensity. Just a clever kick there by Tim Inkster. Could have gone to the pocket and deep to the pocket and on another South Australian lead. Instead went to the top, went to a central position. You can see Parry led to the pocket. The kick just favoured Shell. Doesn't always have to be a pinpoint pass to a full forward. It just favoured him. He was able to use his body just to work his opponent underneath the footy. Had the presence of mind to play on quickly. Kicks a goal. We now have a ball game. It's now only a goal of difference. There's some real scoreboard pressure back on Western Australia.
He's got 3 of their 4 goals, Daniel Shell. Twice a winner of the Farmer Medal for being the highest goal kicker in the home and away for the SANFL. Crab's kick into bodies. It ricochets back to the man who affected the smother. Gowans gets it on the ball ace. Ball ace up towards full forward. Oh, the mark was dropped by Parry, resting down there. Hand passes away to Campbell. Campbell a hand pass off to Inkster. Too far out to score. Goes for the centering kick. Shell can line up for his 4.
And we saw Western Australia really disciplined in the first quarter, kicking into that hot spot. Tim Inkster once again kicks to that spot. Daniel Shell just a really good honest sleep. Just unable to get body pressure on his Western Australian opponent. He's now determining to be the key forward in the game.
Lining up for his 4th. Dead in front. From 35 metres, he's missed to the left. That is a bad miss from that range.
It certainly is, especially when he got all the momentum. Here's his great mark again. He's just starting to bring with confidence. Probably hasn't been in great nick in the SANFL so far. You can see him starting to grow in confidence this game goes on.
Just on that, Andrew, Daniel Shell's kicked 7 goals, 11 behinds in his last 2 games for Central Districts.
Well, WA have quickly got the ball down to their half-forward line. Eichner has stopped it for South Australia, and Backwell was taken high over the line. He'll take the free kick. Quickly gets it on because he's got players loose ahead of him. So South Australia will get another chance to go in through Shell. Another great lead umpire. Has he played the mark? Yes, he did. So Shell, too far out, you'd think, to score. And he knows it, so he squares it up quickly. Looking for Gowans. His Central District teammate says, thanks a lot. Ball finally comes out, though, to Mark Clayton. Fresh air shots. Finally, WA with an opportunity to get out of there, and they just get it out of their defensive 50. Bandy taken out of it nicely by O'Hara. Good bunt release, Gowans. Gowans goes back to McKenzie. McKenzie assesses and drops it in short for Mark Clayton. Back in the square if he can get it to Inkster. He was on the lead. He's got good position. Tim Inkster. No, falls over the back. It'll go through for the minor score.
And James Gowans has really lifted his work rate here. He's the one, the tough nut. We saw him effect a smother in the middle, then able to get the ball back. Just starting to really become active and really worry Peter German.
Crab plays on around the wing, but backpedaling, the mark is taken by the green booted Backwell. He plays on to the busy Jeremy Clayton, just beyond his kicking range. On the lead is the skipper and ball aces mark. 40 out, he'll go over the top, backpedaling into the goal square. The mark has been taken by Inkster, is it? At the top of the goal square. South Australia have not been in front tonight, but a straight kick here, and he could well to miss. He'd struggled to miss from that distance. We'll have them in front 22 minutes into this second quarter.
That's it. Thank you. That's it. Nice.
Tim Inkster from Woodville, West Torrens, rams it home, and South Australia now putting some scoreboard heat on the visitors.
They certainly are, and it's just a turnover coming out of the fence which really hurts you when you're telling your backman to run. They've run to create. It gets turned over. Clayton, who's been clean, been very impressive with his things. Borloo just with a presence to go back quickly, get back off the mark quickly without tucking the ball under his arm, walking back to his back to play. A really good learning curve there for many youngsters. Look, always have your wits about you. And Inkster, who's been active, very active in this second quarter.
Peter German, boys, is making about his 7th change in the last 7 or 8 minutes with Barros about to come on. They've made some changes down. Interesting that German coaching in the WA League and the WAFL, and Daryl Hart not. Daryl Hart just hasn't used that interchange bench very much at all.
So he's behind the times, Michael.
Not saying that, Neil. It's just a difference in coaching styles.
Well, South Australia in front for the first time tonight. They lead it by 2 points. And immediately WA respond, taking the ball out of the middle, Pickett at the front. Ball knocked away by Whiteman. And just over the line, no, Whiteman, well, he thought he kept it in just for a moment. So just a slight lull at the moment, close to half-time. Well, into time on in the second quarter. O'Hara coming over the top. Ames got away with one, I thought. Came back to Borlase. Borlase down to half forward, looking for Inkster, and did well. Keevers then played on. Umpire let it go. Parker under pressure. Taken down by Mark Clayton. Still play on. South Australia lining up in the middle. One of them was Kenner. Could drop it across to Backwell, and Backwell will line up for goal 30 metres out from goal.
Tempo of the game has changed. South Australia have certainly lifted their intensity and in particular their tackling. There is no easy possessions out there for Western Australia now.
And Western Australia continue to use that rotation policy on the bench as Backwell slots home another one. And South Australia lead by 8 points.
And with that tackling intensity increase, they've also increased their work rate, but also their ability to make decisions. I mean, see there, we just missed it where there was a great series of tackles by South Australia. Eventually it's spilled loose to Inkster. He worked it over to Kenner. And finally we saw Backwell work into space. So Tim Inkster's really had an impact in this forward line, not only kicking goals, but also his forward line pressure and also setting them up.
Western Australia now, can they respond? Ames has the better of O'Hara in the ruck. Chance for Webb. Couldn't find the handle. Sheedy not helped out by his teammate Jeremy Clayton diving at his feet, but Clayton won the day by hand to Gowans. Gowans then off towards Sheedy, out wide. Coming out to meet the ball, the goal scorer Backwell. Too much agility for Rutherford. Bird him off with ease. Overcooks the kick over the head of the leading Parry. Back in defence, Hayden North. Hand passes off to Basong. Normally a left-footer. Has to use the right on that occasion to Bandy. Bandy will come to Beros just back on the ground. Now Beros has got a sea of South Australian jumpers down in front of him on the wing. So as a result, he's looking infield. Now he will just bomb it for distance. Jones has come down right from centre half forward. Should have done better in front on that occasion, South Australia. Opportunity for them still. Jeremy Clayton goes to ground. McKenzie head over the footy. Got it to Clayton. Taken high. It was a bit reckless by Pickett initially. And the free kick to Clayton. See Pickett's right arm. He then ran through, number one. Ran through from the scene of the crime. The squaring kick to McKenzie. McKenzie has Backwell, who marked 60 metres out. In fact, the push in the back has been paid according to the umpire. That was his signal. With Backwell. Too far out to score. Western Australia got a lot of men back.
It's the trouble with no tall targets forward. You've really got to try to pinpoint a pass.
Goes looking for Inkster. That was pretty indirect in the end. Shell can't keep it alive. A boundary throw in.
And I touched on it earlier. You don't really need to have a big gun full forward. You just need someone to create a contest there at full forward. Just to go to the pockets. It's just a wasted opportunity for South Australia.
Just those deep pockets at the Adelaide Oval in front of the old scoreboard. Parry did well, took possession, went backwards to Sheedy, and the 2002 Magarey medalist will line up the goal. Gee, this game's turned around in the last 10 minutes or so. Western Australia hasn't scored since the 12-minute mark of the quarter, and when they kicked their third goal of the quarter and led by 18 points.
South Australia have had the last 11 inside 50s.
There's Sheedy. Normally a long kick, and this time accuracy just not quite there for the minor score.
There's always going to be the dilemma, and that blowtorch was certainly going to be applied at some stage to Western Australia tonight. They just need their good players to get hold of the footy, the Wodens and players like that who have played and experienced and at this type of intensity.
Hayes found Ames, who clears the centre line with his kick. Thomas bats it out of play and will have a throw in.
Peter German's got a fair bit of ability, fair bit of faith in the running ability of Daniel Bandy. He's picking up Jade Sheedy on the member side wing here.
Well, Woden stalking the boundary line. He won't have much time if he does come back on the 28th minute of the second term. South Australia have kicked the last 4 goals of the game. O'Hara up high, won it down. Head over the footy, Beros as always. Quick hand pass, well controlled by North. Here's a chance for the pacey Pickett. The goal square is open if he can gather, and the dual stand over medalist gets the margin back to within 3 points, and the first time that WA have been in attack effectively in a quarter of an hour.
And it was a very important goal. They just kicked it into space, and because South Australia had all the play, the Western Australian players had flooded back. And you see there was just a kick in hope, really, but it just opened up so much space. And Pickett just super quick, super agility, just read it quicker than anybody else in the South Australian side. And importantly, finished off. Just a steadying goal for Western Australia, just to bring this back to a margin that's not getting away from them and just give some momentum going into half-time.
3 points the margin. WA's first goal since the 12-minute mark. And 15 minutes of football without being able to score. And now another infringement by South Australia in the centre square. Leaves it for Bandy, goes wide for Jones. A long way from home for Anthony Jones, the skipper. Drives it in long. And at the back, Maguire at his best. Should be another goal for WA. And it is. 2 for Maguire. Goal umpire confused. Can't find the central umpire. But don't worry about that. That was a goal.
The game's just turned again. I mean, Western Australia had been totally dominated in this quarter by South Australia. He assumed control of it, really, and looked as though they were going to maybe run away with it, and half-time couldn't come fast enough. You can see there Luke Powell just loses Maguire in the contest, just watching the footy. It's been important up forward, doesn't lead a lot of opportunities to hurt you.
Finishing Neilaway said he couldn't find the field umpire. The WA umpire, Greg Bandy, dressed in orange, as they do in the WAFL, so the goal umpire probably confused. That was the SANFL goal umpire down at that end. Now, off the play, umpire Bandy has seen a free kick, and it's going to go the way of his namesake. Bandy in the ruck, goes towards Jones. Strong finish to the first half by WA. Jones bounces to his feet, bombs it long, back in the goal square, no one there. Hewitt was the target. Archie was able to fist it from his chest, and it goes through for a behind.
The thing you don't like about Jones is he really moves it. Here's the centre square. You can see Western Australia talking about working out where they're going to hit it. It's great play. Looked very good to get that organised at a state level.
And then worried in the end because Parry's infringement gave him the ball anyway. So Western Australia working at the back. Here's North. He's got a little bit of room. Takes his time. Almost puts himself under pressure. And they can almost turn it over. WA just mucking around with the ball at half-back. And in the end, South Australia are able to shut them down. We've gone past 30 minutes in this quarter. Western Australia has wrested back the lead by 4 points. Umpire Bandy thumps the ball into the turf. Backwell did well, knocked it forward. Clayton, Mark Clayton, stripped of the ball. Good tackle coming in there. And we'll get another ball up. That tackle was from Hayes.
Just a tremendous attack on the footy there by Mark Clayton. You can see he really wanted it. Really tried to inspire some of his teammates.
By Bandy, thumps into the turf again. Up high, Kane Hayes knocks it forward for WA. Backwell goes to ground, didn't lose the footy. Got it to Gowans. On in turn to Sheedy. Hurried left footer inside 50. Hayden North almost a clever mark. In goes Mark Clayton again. He's zealous, he wants the footy, but it was held to him. And we'll have a ball up. South Australia's attacking 50 at left half forward.
Adam Fisher onto the ground for the first time tonight. A late inclusion, of course, for Gavin Hughes. Coming off is James Gowans. He's a bit limpy and proppy on that left calf. He looks like he's in a bit of trouble.
Doesn't look too good. Have an extended half-time break. Adams, hand pass to Woden. Kicks it high in best position to Marcus Sheedy. Back with the flight. Rutherford did well. Made a contest. Backwell off hands. Gives it to his skipper, and ball lace upended over the boundary line by Beros. A long quarter, not surprising. There's the Gowans bringing himself off the ground virtually. 11-goal quarter, as we just heard.
Is Whiteman trapped in there. Was lucky umpire came in early because he wasn't able to get that ball out, as James Gowans just pointing out what problem he has with that calf, or ankle perhaps. So South Australia, I think Western Australia will be content to shut this down just at the moment, take that lead to the half-time break. Backwell releases Sheedy. In a bit of space, he'll get a Shepherd. Now goes in long, looking for Shell. Parker came back and thumped it wide. Campbell and Beros was dogged. forced him to turn over the ball. And now it comes back for WA. Well, almost intercepted by Boulas. The mistake there by Adams. Finally, Jones. It's Clint Jones, and I reckon North wanted to go to the line. Jones kicks it in. Finally, Adams just scrambles the kick away. They did well. Armstrong. Woden's loose in the middle. Briefly, Armstrong looks down the line. He's still looking down the line. He hasn't spotted Woden in the centre of play. And that will be the end of the first half of football. And Western Australia did well. They were behind late in that quarter, managed to get back in front by 4 points at half-time.
When a quarter that really ebbed and flowed, we saw the first half where Western Australia really dominated the first quarter and probably deserved to be probably a little bit more in front, but South Australia really applied the blowtorch early in that second quarter. They made better decisions, they increased their intensity, tackled a lot better than what they did in the first quarter, and forced their way back into the game and got in front. Western Australia, to their credit, made the most of late opportunities and got their nose in butts beautifully poised here at half-time.
South Australia 6 goals to 5 in that quarter, but they still trail the West Australians by 4 points at half-time.
The pressure's on.
With that, and he did mention just as he was leaving the ground at half-time there that he could just about be out for this second half. Now, not good news for Central Districts. They've already got problems. His twin, Chris, was out of this game with a hamstring, and Jeremy Ofterhide heads to hospital on Monday for a full knee reconstruction. So news not good for Central Districts or South Australia there, Mike.
Certainly not, Mark, but the West Australians' door firmly closed at half-time. But Peter German would be very, very happy with the way things have been going, the tackling and the way they've gone about it in that particular quarter. In the first half, really, they've really been hard at the ball, and I think you'll see a continuation of that in this second half.
Team just taking up position here to get this third quarter underway. Western Australia a 4-point lead, having led at quarter time by 13. State pride very much on the line. Umpires Williams, Beeler and Bandy in charge. As the ball is thrown up in the middle, Parry won it on the way down, opposed to Ames. Clayton under pressure, hand pass over the head of Kenner. Backwell is there. His hand pass to the skipper, Borlase, got it to Inkster. Blind turn, hand pass back to Borlase. This could be a dream start. The skipper nails it on the run from just inside 50. He gets his second. And South Australia back in front, 20 seconds into that third term.
In each of the first 2 quarters, Western Australia, they really jumped out of the blocks and really put it to South Australia. For the first time, South Australia obviously targeted the first goal of this third quarter. Just some slick hands in tight. Eventually, Borlase gets it. It was a quality finisher, finishes off nicely. South Australia assumed the lead in this game.
With that passage of play, Borlase and Jeremy Clayton have each had 22 possessions.
So it's a third lead change we've had in this match since the 21-minute mark of the second quarter. And South Australia immediately through Inkster, goes to his right foot this time. Shell on the lead. And immediately South Australia hit after half-time. They've already had 1 goal, and Daniel Shell on the lead, and now the mark, and now the set shot will have an opportunity for another goal for South Australia.
Importantly, 2 centre breaks. They win the ball out of the middle twice. Inkster playing in front. Look, he was instrumental, just his forward line pressure, but also his opportunities in that second quarter brought South Australia back into the game.
Shellway's back. It'll just get there. So another goal for Daniel Shell. And he has been vital for the South Australians up forward.
With the loss of Nick Gill and also Grant Chambers, there was always going to be a heavy emphasis on Daniel Shell. Importantly there, he led up the centre corridor. Gives him a shot straight in front. You can see the Crummers, they created some space in that centre corridor. Goes back and finishes off with a goal. South Australia are now really putting it to Western Australia.
Ames for WA up against Parry again in the ruck for South Australia. High fair bounce. Ames wins it down. Opportunity there for Armstrong. Looked like he was taken high. The umpire sees it the same way. They're allowed the advantage. Clint Jones got it to Woden, who finds Anthony Jones, the captain. 3 first-half goals to Anthony Jones, including 2 in a minute. That opening term as he bombs it long towards the pocket. Out comes Maguire. Got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Chance in there for Powell. Hand passes to Borlase, the skipper. Hurried hand pass along the line. Push in the back. Ball had gone out of play, but Theo Adams penalised for a push. And ball aced the free kick.
Come back on your line, mate.
Best and fairest with Norwood. And the Foss Williams medal last year against the VFL. Sparking them early in the third quarter, and a Shepherd called here against Jeremy Clayton. Eyes not for the ball according to the umpire, and Steve Armstrong has the free kick, and now for Verbeling is going to be dragged back. Well, this will bring Armstrong now to within goal-kicking range almost. 25-metre penalty, which is in vogue in the SANFL, and we're using those rules here in Adelaide tonight. Steve Armstrong on the West Coast Eagles rookie list, having played 43 games with Melbourne in the AFL. Currently back with his club of origin, Perth in the Waffle. He goes long. Made pretty good contact. It'll land about 8 metres out. Ames with a big leap in front. Jones lays the tackle back there in defence. And it'll be balled up inside WA's attacking goal square.
South Australia kicked the first 2 goals of this third quarter. Jeremy Clayton, just an undisciplined attack. Interesting to see what Daryl Hart will do there. Did he take his gun midfielder off?
Ames now with a crucial role here. He taps it back into a dangerous area. Barros puts his head over the ball. Kennel is quick. And it comes loose. And a chance for for Western Australia. And the poster from Pickett, who got the ball onto his right foot, he's a natural left footer.
They hurriedly get the ball back into play. And the kick wide by Powell towards the outer wing. Ball now with Sheedy. Happening. Oh, it's a player down behind play in the goal square at the northern end, and they're calling for the stretcher for Eichner.
Knee, I would reckon.
Gee. Let's have a look at it. Stephen Eichner coming out there. Barros. Oh, yes. Barros's hip has gone right across the left knee. You can see it hyperextend there. Oh, that's not a good look at all. Well, totally accidental. Barros with eyes for the footy.
Dislocation, perhaps.
Look at kneecap there. Looks like they clicked the kneecap back in. So, look, it may not be as bad as what expected. The kneecaps give away, but of course, if the ligaments, she's a full knee reconstruction. Look, that will hurt the Magpies in the SANFL. It's been a very good player in their back line with plenty of run out of there and been very disciplined.
Yes, Eichner's been an important ingredient for the Magpies, who sit on top of the SANFL with 6 wins and 1 loss. Port Adelaide, in contrast to their AFL brethren. They are winning in the SANFL.
Saw them at the airport today as I was coming in from Perth. Mark Williams and the boys were sitting in one of the cafes about to board their flight. So while they're going to be in action this weekend, I doubt that Stephen Eichner is going to see much more action, at least in the short term, and maybe the remainder of the season, sadly, as he's stretched from the ground.
While Stephen Eichner's come off, Dean Howard's headed back onto the field. So now South Australia down to 20 men. And James Gowans here has got the ice on his left calf, which is the last thing you want in this temperature at the moment. And James Gowans just looked over and said, look, I'm not going to win the Foss Williams tonight. It's a bit of a shame.
Well, Andrew, given the way the modern game is played, a 2-man interchange bench for the best part of a half could be telling.
Could also be telling, but it also unbalances South Australia with Eichner be able to take a toll down the back end. All of a sudden, you might have to sacrifice on Mark Clayton or someone of similar ilk who's providing a good option up forward. Now would be the time for Peter German to push a ruckman forward, and that would really stretch South Australian defence.
The umpire's doing the right thing here. They're actually going to wait until the stretcher bearing Eichmann is actually in the race. This could be very dangerous if play was switched to this side of the ground near the boundary line.
And it is a very cramped race here at the Adelaide Oval. It's not easy to get a player on a stretcher down through the race. So
here it is again, a replay of it. Barros coming in right of screen, diving for the footy and just taking the knee of Eichner there, and it really did bend, and you have to think that there is a fair bit of ligament damage there.
You would suspect it's a season-ending injury. A shame, because it's probably the pinnacle of his football career tonight to play for his state at this level. He's been on a rookie list in the AFL. Unfortunately, wasn't deemed good enough to continue there. Comes back to the Magpies, having a great season, cemented his place in the side. Pinnacle of his career tonight, and just to end like that is very disappointing.
Now the shrapnel explodes, and or the grenade explodes, and shrapnel goes in all directions. There was a massive huddle. That was a big leap by Jones, way too early. The mark was taken by South Australia. Playing on, the kick was smothered there off the boot of Whiteman. Diving in on top of the footy there was North. It's held to him at the bottom of the pack, and we'll have a ball up. Just wonder how teams will regroup after that break. South Australia had the momentum. They kicked the first 2 goals of the quarter, hit the front. Break probably the best part of 3 or 4 minutes there as Bandy wins the ball down. Opportunity for Kenner. Can't do anything with it. Woden over the footy for WA. We'll have another ball up.
And it has forced Daryl Hart to have a reshuffle. He's had to push Dean Howard back. As I said, great coaching by Peter German. Instantly pushes a ruckman forward.
Ball one down by Thomas, but only as far as Woden kicks WA to the wing. McKenzie pushed past the ball. Kenner gets the hand pass out to Ball H, who's been very busy in his 3rd term. Kicks to right half forward. North at the back, but claiming the mark and paid in front. South Australia have it through Campbell. Thought North may have got hands on that. At the back, goes towards Shell. Was he pushed in the back? No whistle. At the back, Hayes works it across to Webb, who fell over. On the fall there, the hand pass comes from Parker to Armstrong. High up and under kick. Ball Ace in the action again.
Ball Ace can go short to Clayton. He does so on the edge of the 50 metres. Goes back to Campbell quickly, 1 step. The left footer drags it for the minor score. Campbell originally from Canberra, so he'd be well used to cool conditions, shall we say.
Well, start by Kane Hayes. Now he checks himself and goes wide to the Brownlow medalist. Woden chips it over the top, backpedaling Bandy. Takes the mark on the defensive 50 for WA.
Got to get busy, doesn't he, Daniel Bandy? He's an aerobic animal, can really run all day. Needs to really test Craig Parry aerobically and run around the ground, get himself involved.
He can go into transition in attack. He can be very dangerous. He kicked a lot of goals for Claremont this year. Offhand, South Australia have it. A bouncing run there by Inkster. Inside 50 with the left boot across the face. It could be dangerous for South Australia. WA could rebound through North. He's got a couple of players towards the wing. He opts to go inboard by hand to Bandy, who now swings it out wide, and Rutherford marks it left half back. Hand passes to Woden, being corralled near the boundary line. Kicks it up, dangerous delivery there. Awkward for Parker, and Thomas over the top easily puts it out of play on the wing.
You just question Rutherford's handball there. Gives it outside to Woden. The only place he can go is down that line. At least if he looks back into the middle, he can actually create something, and the way West Australia want to play, bring it back through the centre corridor.
Holding the ball there, Jones will be given the free kick. It'll come back, and Kenner had broken away, and Jones blindsided Kenner. Didn't realise he was there. Now Jones, the captain, goes long and high. Ames comes across the front. Powell with the crumbs for South Australia. Hand passes, finds Kenner. Kenner overruns the ball. Clint Jones in there. And his namesake, Anthony Jones, was there as well. The ball somehow was plucked out of there and sent forward. Thomas with a quick hand pass. Powell, McKenzie, now Sheedy to break from the back. Jake Sheedy gets around one, drives the centre half forward, goes for Shell. At the back was Clayton. Couldn't take the mark. Western Australia with possession, albeit briefly. They just can't clear their area. Mark Clayton overran the ball. Still it's in dispute at centre half forward for South Australia. And wait on the umpire. And umpire Richard Williams says 50-50, boys, give it to me.
He's a competitor, Mark Clayton. He's going to give you everything at centre half forward. He'll compete in the air, but when the ball hits the ground, it's when he's at his best. He's going to be heavily involved.
Inkster just through traffic. The hand pass was loose. It was picked up by Webb, who cleared it to this side of the ground. Jones. One paw was enough to keep it in his favour. Jones looks now and surrounded, taken down by Clayton. The hand pass was loose. South Australia look to turn it over. It comes to Woden. He gets it to half forward. Howard will be first to it, and he'll take an easy chest mark.
Howard now has Parry free at centre half back. He slides, doesn't take the mark. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Slings the hand pass to Archie in the centre square. He goes out wider still. Powell on a bouncing run towards the outer wing. Crosses it, untidy looking left foot disposal. Campbell has time and space at half forward. Hand passes to Mark Clayton. Tried to fend away Parker. Loses the footy. Kane Hayes, almost a throw. Rumble then tidies up by hand to Parker to North, and he chips it out wide to Bandy. The telescopic arms reining it in from overhead. Scoring's dried up momentarily as the kick goes to the outer wing. Big leap, Keevers. Ben Keevers, not renowned for his aerial work, takes the mark, just forwarded right half back for WA. Halfway through this third term, an 8-point margin. Chips it short to Ames. Ames has Hayes screaming for it back in the centre circles, but he goes up towards right half forward. It was intended for Jones, chopped off by Parry, who plays on out wide. Archie and the boundary line to beat, along with Ames. Hand passes infield. Keever sets a little screen in there for Pickett. Pickett shovels the ball forward to Bandy, now to Webb. Webb on in turn to the long-kicking Hayes with the left boot. He measures the kick to half forward. In defence, Fisher drops the mark. Cliff Jones goes to an unguarded goal square. The bounce is telling. Has it bounced through for a goal? Almost. Batted down, has gone through. It cleared the line. Freakish goal there by Jones. The ball almost bouncing at a right angle. And it brings up WA's first goal of the third quarter, 14 minutes in.
It's about to comment how important the next goal is going to be. And Jones has just made something out of nothing here. Just gets it forward. See it bouncing around. And eventually it just works its way along. Not too much that Dean Howard would do about that. But sometimes luck plays a big part in football. West Australia have really this arm wrestle going on at the moment between half-back lines. They've made something out of nothing.
2 points the margin. By Bandy thumps the ball into that, what must be a rock-hard surface there. Towed forward by Woden. Well, it looked like Webb was taken out of the play. It comes to South Australian half-back in Whiteman, down to Inkster. Inkster looks up, waits for the lead. Clayton's at full forward at the moment. He goes for Shell on the lead. Took a good, no, he didn't take a good mark. Kept it in front though. Daniel Shell goes outside 50. Inkster, a left footer, gets around on his left leg, goes long for Clayton. Clayton does well, makes a contest. Crum down. Western Australia with a number over the ball. Jones, and now they move it from the back to the song. Comes to centre wing looking for Anthony Jones. McKenzie's with him. McKenzie hooks the ball away from him and out of bounds on centre wing, just in front of our boundary riders in Sodas and Michael Maney.
And I can tell you, Neil, just in the last quarter or so, the temperature has dropped here. It's getting very chilly and the ball's a lot slipperier, more dew on the pitch.
Saw a moment ago, too, WA making a change. Chris Maguire, the full forward coming off. He has 2 goals replaced by Newick. This is Fisher hooking it inside 50. Hayden Parker going back. A little deft tap to Woden. To Hayden North, sweating on him, Clayton. Back to Parker. Parker, clever kick off the outside of the boot. Rutherford in space. Bounces into the centre square from half-back. Now from just behind the circles. Kicks up towards half-forward. Hayes was expecting more carry in the kick. It fell short and was marked by Whiteman. Whiteman now with no one behind him. Kicks out wide and presenting himself well out there is Gallagher. Gallagher just behind the outer wing. WA flooding back in defence at the moment. Not a lot of movement up forward, so Gallagher goes for as much distance as he can down along the line. Shell the target. Well, he paid that. He did. He got first and second bites. The attempted score by Rumble ineffective. Shell too far out to score his 5th. And he sets something up. He comes backwards to Fisher. The late replacement for Hughes. Fisher plays on. Up towards half forward in front. Adams over his head. At the back, Mark Clayton. Hand passes to Jeremy Clayton and he misses. To the right-hand side from 30 metres on the run.
There's a problem for South Australia, you see there. Is it Shell leads out wide. They really haven't got a tall target to go to. Next tall is Mark Clayton, who's only realistically a magpie 6-footer. They really struggle for a tall target. It's okay if you can get it in one-on-one. When it's too slow and you're creating 3-on-3, 4-on-4s, you're never going to take a mark at that stage.
Yeah, boys, Peter German from the WA coach is looking at a mismatch with Luke Powell on Newick, and they've also got a mismatch with Ames playing on Howard. So looking for a bit of height, someone to take a mark up there.
Trouble is they can't get it down there at the moment. Ball gets it forward. Clayton gets another shot at goal and the same result. Away to the right. That's his 3rd behind.
He's had his opportunities, but he hasn't been able to thread one. Hayes short down the middle. Theo Adams with the mark. He comes across half-back. The target here is Bandy. Bandy can go over the top if he wants to Woden, but opts to go into the middle of the ground. Pickett, not good delivery to him. The opposite number 1, Kenner gets it, hacks it across the body. In defence, though, Basson. Hurried kick out wide, and on the dewy surface, the ball slides and eludes Bandy over the boundary line on the broadcast wing.
Daniel Bandy's decision there to go back into the middle with a poor kick to a 50-50. Very lucky to get away with that.
Parry doing well against Bandy. Backwell in a crowd, got a kick away out on the full. Is it? No, just touched before it was over that boundary line. Clint Jones there, getting up. Looked like he was struggling just a little bit. So Parry at the front, Bandy behind. Parry palms it down. Just the toe poke forward now. Play on calls the umpire. Still in dispute. And still they go, and still no result. And now it's holding the ball. Gallagher was the man caught under there. He just took possession, according to the umpire, and Clint Jones was over in with the tackle. Squares it, and WA just looking for a little bit of run at the moment and not finding any. Rutherford comes back down the line and immediately turns over the ball. The mark taken by Fisher, and Fisher takes his time as the WA players flood back. Fisher just opts to go long, looking for Shell in the middle of the pack, just couldn't pull it down. To the back it goes, and again Parker with an opportunity, hand pass. They share it at the back. They almost turn it over again. In fact, the pressure there was great from South Australia. Vasong tried to stand up in the tackle, was stripped of the ball. Clayton got a hand pass out, it was loose. And finally, WA will clear their defensive.
Mark taken by Woden. He's got Webb running forward of the play. Can he gather the bouncing ball? He can. 60 out and closing. Chips into the pocket. Oh, he conceded the lead on that occasion. Hewitt, he propped allowed Archie in front. Dangerously back into the corridor. Campbell couldn't mark. Jones has the ball held to him. Will have a ball up. Gee, dangerous there, Archie, kicking it back into the corridor.
Especially if a player can't play him. But the Western Australians, as they went forward, do it. Evan Hewitt obviously doesn't play with that teammate. Led out and then ducked back. Unfortunately, having enough training time together, you don't actually gel together, and he didn't really realise what Evan Hewitt was trying to do.
Chance for South Australia to clear. Thomas. Hand passes out wide. McKenzie in a circle. Gets it back then towards Powell. Powell, a high kick to the middle of the ground. Hayes in front. Slips off his chest. Armstrong just slipped back on to replace Bandy. He hand passes WA to North. North hand passes knocked down. That allows South Australia in. Good tackle by Armstrong. And he's done enough to force a neutral ball. Very strong tackle on Gallagher. And a ball up right in front of our commentary box, which is normally the home rooms for South Australia or the Australian Test team. Beautiful view across towards the Victor Richardson gates. From the bounce, Ruckman more interested in each other than the ball. Rutherford, clever little toe poke to Clint Jones. High kick, awkward delivery. Back with courage by Woden. Made a contest. Fell in favour of Armstrong. He's got Pickett in the pocket. Goes further afield, and Hewitt on the stretch. Takes the mark. And Hewitt well within range.
Full credit to Shane Woden there. Went with the fly to the footy against Stephen Kenner. Just created the contrast. Great way to kick there. Evan Hewitt once again led off his leg. You see here he's led off to the right. Makes it a much harder kick. And not too much that Corey Archie can do about that.
It's the first mark WA have taken inside 50 since the first quarter.
Evan Hewitt, who had a stint with Norwood. He led South Fremantle's goal kicking last year. We're right behind the kick. And he pushes it left for a behind.
But O'Hara waiting his opportunity to come on the ground as Thomas brings it back in for South Australia. Good kick. McKenzie with the mark. He's outside 50, McKenzie, just waiting. Nothing much on offer in terms of loose players. He can't switch the ball, so he's got to go down the line looking for O'Hara. And O'Hara leaps from behind, knocks it away from Ames. Now it's Parker down to Woden, and then down the line with the kick. Webster finished with it. You're on the mark, or Webb, I should say. Webb finished with it and just over the top. Jones has had plenty of the ball. Goes into the forward pocket with the kick. And Hewitt takes a nice grab, but he's on a very, very difficult angle. Looking back for a lead, maybe in the centre. Nobody available.
That's it. Wait for my call, though. Just needs to sink this through there. He's a natural right footer on his preferred side. Just run out, took it around. As a kid, he would have done this many times.
Maybe not under this much pressure, and perhaps that's the reason he missed by a long way.
Probably should have done it more times as a kid, shouldn't he?
Behinds in as many attempts there for Hewitt. Howard restarts play to ball ace by hand to Archie. clears the defensive 50 with a raking drop punt to the outer side. Campbell definitely nudged under it by North, who gathers the ball in his wake, steps around Campbell, backs himself on the Dewey surface, takes a bounce, accelerates away, goes to half forward, Ames on the lead, good mark, attacked the footy vigorously overhead. Talon Ames, 65 out. When he squares it intended for Webb, back with the flight was O'Hara. Here's Armstrong, trying to play for the free kick, gathers the footy, taken down by Thomas, ball jars free. Powell got it off somehow to O'Hara, on in turn to Thomas. High kick comes across towards Parry, uses the body well. Parker had hold of the jumper, ball near the boundary line, has gone out. Well, it went out first of all off Backwell before it went out off the shin of Salicic, so not a boundary throw in. Sorry, a boundary throw in rather than out of bounds on the full.
Darryl. Game of centimetres, isn't it? I think
Hayes it was. I said Salicic Hayes was going in there.
Not 100% sure it didn't go into the turf before it went out off his foot anyway. South Australia working hard, but well done by Woden. Now they turn the ball over. Inkster did well. Ball ace vision, not perfect, just couldn't execute properly. Rumble overran the ball, opposed to Shell. Coming through brilliantly was Inkster. Go back to Gallagher. Gallagher pokes the ball forward. He wants some mark, and brilliantly done. The knock away from Rutherford, forcing the minor score.
Tim Inkster just involved in that play. Daryl Hart's pushed him deep into full forward with Mark Clayton coming off the ground for a spell.
Gee, North made a mess of that, but he had plenty of time to recover, having spilt the mark. He goes out wide in front. Inkster couldn't mark Woden, front and centre. Crumbs kicks powerfully up towards half forward. Howard lurking at the back. Should be able to tidy up for the Crow Eaters from his defensive 50. Conceded ground, now hooks it out wide, and it bounces out of play for a throw-in. Shane Barros wanting deliberate, the umpire having none of it. Have a look at that for a build. Short, close to the ground, but very nuggety. Very solid player.
So Shane Woden, 11 possessions this quarter, 23 for the game. Hayden North has had 24 for that game.
So Woden doing his best to lift the troops. O'Hara wins it down. Opportunity here. Socket off the ground by Western Australia's Salicic. Tidied up though by South Australia. The kick comes across the half-back line. Thomas leading Armstrong to the contest. Back onto his right boot. Measures the kick, looking for Backwell. Nudged to the contest by Rutherford. Backwell couldn't gather. Is he taken out of play? Eventually it dribbles out. And a boundary throw-in on the members' wing.
Paul Thomas, 2 years ago, a Magarey medalist, 8 games with Essendon last season, dropped off their list. Well back by Central District in the SANFL competition. Now a ball in tight again. Over it briefly was Crabb. South Australia scramble the ball up to half forward. Now it'll come to Campbell, and Campbell can drop it in. A question of accuracy with the kick, and he missed his target in Shell, who had a yard or two on Rumble. And they get it out over the boundary line defensive in Australia. It's Hayes just showing you after effects of Campbell coming behind and putting a knee right between the 1 and the 8. The ball thrown back in at half forward, South Australia. Nicely done by Armstrong, coming through the pack. The 1-2 on his wrong side. Now he's taking his time, surround. Oh boy, that was a little bit of Larry stuff in the end. That wasn't a bit of Larry stuff. And the ball out over the boundary line from Crabb. And South Australia pushing forward late in the third term and leading by 3 points.
Important closing stages to this quarter as Thomas goes as deep as he can. Armstrong, the target was Shell, but he flew third in line and has taken the mark. Stephen Armstrong desperate to get back into AFL footy. Discarded by Melbourne. He's on the Eagles AFL rookie list. He's played pretty well tonight. Kicks it high, not too sure who he's aiming for. Newick comes to the contest. Off hands G North, went without it. Now Kenner under pressure near the boundary line. Another throw in.
Bryce Campbell's just come off the ground for South Australia. He's got a cut under the chin. He's gone straight down to the change rooms. He'll get that stitched up. Benny Warren, who struggled for South Adelaide the past couple of weeks, just with 3 goals, has come back onto full forward.
Peter German's rested his gun midfielder Shane Woden, having a spell on the bench for a big last quarter.
Thomas under pressure, fends away Pickett. Could almost be penalised for holding it. He will be. You can't fend a player away. You've got to make your option to get rid of the ball, and rightly penalised. And Alastair Pickett, the dual Sandover medalist, didn't play WAFL footy till he was 26. He's won 2 Sandovers since then as he chips it short to Theo Adams. Adams has got a player, his South Fremantle teammate North. free in the middle of the ground. O'Hara couldn't get there in time to spoil. Now they go out wide to a renowned defender, Aidan Parker. What's he like with goal-kicking skills? From 55 out. Goes long to the top of the goal square. Kane Hayes there. McKenzie the good fist. Crab front and centre couldn't gather. Gallagher is in there. Brilliantly tackled by Crab. Taken to ground. Ball up.
You'd just like to see Western Australia try to create space, bring it back from the goal, try to just block for someone to create some space back away from goal so they're facing it.
Ticking over to 29 minutes late in the quarter. And Sheedy will get possession, pulled off the ball and pulled off his kick. And almost the mark there in front to Gallagher. Now he gathers. Back to Thomas. Has a look. Thomas decides to hand pass wide to Kenner. He's a left footer, so he's crowded on his kick. Down towards Warren. Over the back was Borlase. The soccer off the ground. And the ball was partially blocked. The song will come across. Did he keep it in? No, he won't. It was nicely done by Keevers, because Borlase was going to soccer that ball inside that dangerous area inside 50. Woden waiting to come back on. He's had his rest.
I predicted that
back on. So Armstrong with a loose hand pass over the top, and eventually out of bounds again. And the call from the crowd thought maybe it was full.
And Webb the man to come off to allow Woden on. Theo Adams getting away with that one. Rubbing it towards the line. There's Woden. Barking instructions. Boundary throw in. O'Hara from the back won it down. High kick by Sheedy towards centre half forward. Off hands. Unable to gather the ball in there was Inkster. Now the diminutive Kenner running it towards the outer side. Gathers in advance of Hayes. Too much pace. Goes deep towards left full forward. On the lead down there was fisted away from the South Australian player on the lead, Warren. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight. Woden, the body of Fisher. Ball spills back to Kent. Across the body to full forward. Off hands, opportunity at the back for Backwell. Taken down. Legally says umpire, and eventually it trickles out of play. A WA player slow to get up. Back in the corridor. It might be Rudderforth, I think. It is. He's feeling the after effects of putting his body on the line with courage.
Met by Borlase coming back with the ball. Now, Woden slips a hand pass to Armstrong, gets it outside defensive 50, but at the wall, if you like, the old-fashioned wall was set up by South Australia. Now the chip inside 50 was dangerous, punched away, comes back to South Australia again, and they can chip wide for Clayton, or is it Kenner? It's the latter.
Strange quarter. It's in its 32nd minute. Only 3 goals, but of course Eichner was stretched it off, and that took up about 4 minutes. That's why we're so deep into time on.
Well, that and the fact, I guess, so many stoppages in the quarter as players crowd around the ball, and of course every time the umpire crosses his arms for a bounce, the clock stops. So here's Stephen Kenner. Started at Mount Gravatt in Brisbane via Carlton, and then to South Adelaide. Lines up and is narrow with the kick. So three-quarter time in this match, and South Australia just in front. 9-12-66. Western Australia 9-8-62. 4 points the margin at three-quarter time.
These two teams have met 88 previous times, 44 wins apiece, and it's a 4-point margin at three-quarter time in favour of South Australia. So half an hour of football ahead of us. Ames went too early. O'Hara couldn't trap it on the ground. Adams kicks off the side of the boot for WA. Out towards right half forward. Pickett beaten to the ball there by Whiteman, who was held by Salicic, and the free kick will come back to Whiteman at left half back.
Glenn, with the scores pretty close, obviously 4 points the difference. If the game is a draw, of course it stands as a draw. There's no extra time played tonight.
That'll be a nice way to finish. 44.5 wins each. The kick by Whiteman up towards left half forward through the hands of Woden. Ames got bogged. Does well from his backside. Rutherford shrugs a high tackle from Borlase. And he'll get the free kick at right half back. Clancy Rutherford, who started the game on the bench. Former West Coast Eagles rookie listed player. Claremont Football Club kicks towards the wing. Bandy, telescopic arms again. It's a hard man to match up on. Now he's got Basong, who's run off half-back. He'll mark on the outermost centre circle. Plays on immediately. He's on his... In fact, it's Rumble, not Basong. He's on his non-preferred Bandy, a party trick mark. Hand pass to Salicic. Hasn't been on the ground a lot tonight. Goes long to full forward, and it'll pitch and bounce wide of Hewitt on the lead and out for a boundary throw-in.
Bryce Campbell just about to head back onto the ground. He's on now with that chin all patched up. Benny Warren off the ground, so South Australia again shorter up forward.
That's why I guess they've asked for long and low into that forward line for South Australia. That was Daryl Hart's message. Webb over the ball. In tight, gave it up to Whiteman. Whiteman perhaps taken high. Handball down the line. Umpire said yes, that's okay. So in front of the Bradman stand here at the Adelaide Oval.
Top ball gets to three-quarter time for South Australia. Ball ace 27, Jeremy Clayton 26, and Campbell 20 for WA. Hayden North 25, Shane Wogan 24, Stephen Armstrong 19.
And 5,034 people have braved the cold this evening to watch the match.
Well, South Australians will be hoping they don't go unhappy at the end of the night. Ball ace was in there, had it briefly. Now it's rolled back in under him. Umpire calls it straight away and says, I'll bounce it. The West Australian umpire in Bandy, Greg Bandy, about to throw the ball into the turf again. It has moved in the last, what, 30 or 40 seconds? Maybe a minute and a half. It goes so quick. Is Thomas off half back. Centre wing, he looks for back all over his head. Well judged by Rutherford at the back.
Clancy Rutherford go down along the line. In fact, squares a little bit more in towards centre half forward. A lot of fists in the air. No one can knock it down. Hand pass by Inkster. Back in defence at the moment when he gathered that to Backwell to Thomas. Thomas kicks then towards the lumbering Parry on the lead. The pack collapses. Staying upright at the back is Gallagher. Gallagher, awkward delivery to a leading Shell. The song can tidy up. All on his own at the back. Comes to a halt. Hand passes down to Aidan Parker. Parker sweeps the hand pass out wide. Bandy, the big man, bends down, gathers off his bootlaces, then pulls the kick with Shell approaching, and he's penalised for holding the ball. Ball ace plays on immediately, centering kick, and this could be a goal-scoring opportunity. It's interesting, I thought Bandy was actually in the process of hand passing that ball when he was tackled. The umpire saw it differently, and now an opportunity for Dean Howard, who has been pretty quiet tonight, and limping from the ground is Hayden North. So that will bolster South Australia's prospects. They've got a two-man bench. At the moment, WA have three fit players with North limping along the boundary line. Howard goes long to the scoreboard end, and he gets the opening goal of the last term.
And the opening goal was always going to be vitally important in this contest. It now creeps out to a 10-point margin. Western Australia now need to react and do something. Here's Bandy, just a comical error. He just need to keep himself mobile then. Attempted to handball, but certainly missed. You can see his frustrations. He lashes out. And just smart play to move the ball quickly to Dean Howard, who's just struggled tonight in an unfamiliar role to him.
Maybe struggled with the cold a bit. He was originally a Queenslander from Broadbeach on the Gold Coast to West Adelaide, I should say, and then to North Adelaide this season. 10 points the margin. South Australia through ball ace over to Kenner. Don't know if it was actually meant, but Kenner is trapped in the tackle of Ames and will get a ball up. Ames just sneaks in front. Down it came on. Unlucky was Inkster. He was held in the tackle. Well, he was about to kick it and then thought no.
Greg Bandy's going to bounce the ball. Our South Australian audience might be aware that his brother David Bandy made his Sheffield Shield debut last summer for Western Australia, a very talented sporting family.
Slapped forward by Backwell, a backhander. Now it comes wide to Kivas. Off his left foot, poor kick, out of bounds, and some spectators may be saying that was deliberate. I don't think so, though. I don't think you can count that.
10-point margin. Crowd rugged up against the cold. The temperature down in single digits.
The kid, though, was eating ice cream.
Oh, well, when you're that age, you're impervious to cold weather, especially if you're not offered an ice cream. Flo Woden with strength. Got it by hand to Webb. Webb out to Ames. The kick carried too far at the back. It's been marked by Howard. Plays on. Spears it in towards half forward. Marked by Fisher. Lays it on by hand then to a teammate. Borlase kicks inside 50. Shell the target. Sport by Rumble. Foot race on towards the boundary line. A couple fall over. Campbell doesn't. His kick is very wide. Drifting towards the pocket. Was that a push in the back? Harry nudge for it. No whistle. Parker with strength in the tackle. Gets a hand pass to Keevers. Keevers towards Hayes. Drops the mark. He's got Woden there in support. Shovels it back to him. Hayes a long drop punt. Up towards the lead of Hewitt. Taken under the footy. At the back, Whiteman can tidy up from the defensive 50. Cross the body. Didn't do a very good job. Intercepted there by Hewitt. Squaring kick to half forward. Bandy can't trap the bouncing ball cleanly. Now he dives in over the top of it and does it in a crude fashion. Has given away the free kick. They need to be careful. I'll turn it over here. Howard should just take it easy because the kick is with Thomas for South Australia.
Thomas just drops it out wide to Fisher. Fisher down the line looking for Backwell, flying against a taller opponent in Hayes. Now Hayes an opportunity to pick it up, ball on the ground, so Backwell and Kenner back in their element, and Backwell's given away a free kick, has he? No. Well, I just thought maybe he grabbed Woden a bit high. Certainly Shane Woden, no after effects. O'Hara just belts it forward. Woden will go to his left leg and the boundary, and I think it might have been out on the full. And it was. So South Australia will get a chance. Or will they? Wait on. Yes, they will. It's just a question of who takes the free kick. It's Fisher.
Not smart play by Woden there. He realised he was going to get pushed. Didn't really need to kick that. Probably should have taken the tackle and either handball down the line or just taken the tackle and force another ball up.
Adam Fisher told to play on. He goes long looking for Campbell. Big leap there from the defence. Knocking it down was Bassong and roving well in front. The kick goes forward from Inkster. It's gone out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, boys, North down here has got a huge bit of strapping on that left thigh. Have a look at that. He's really strapped up like an Egyptian mummy there at the moment, the top half of that thigh.
I think he'll be back on tonight. Now Kane Hayes, heels on the boundary line almost, has the ball at right full back for WA, who trail by 10 points. The only score of this last quarter, a goal to WA, to South Australia, I should say. Shell might get another one. He wriggles out of the tackle. Thought about taking the advantage and then could feel pressure on his back from Rumble and stopped. So he did well there, and now he should be able to slot his fifth. And in what should be a low-scoring game, just 18 goals kicked to three-quarter time in aggregate, a lead of 16 points could be telling.
Peter German at three-quarter time emphasised not to bring the ball back into the middle unless you can play on Finch. Unfortunately, Kane Hayes decided to bring it back in there. Could well pay a very heavy penalty.
Shell gets his fifth and gives his team a 16-point lead 9 minutes into the last third.
And with goals at a premium, you might almost say that one more for South Australia might just get them over the line in this game. And here's Hayes in the back end. He's just chipped that forward to a 50-50 contest. Shell gets a left arm too high. Goes back and kicks the goal. They've opened up a nice 16-point margin. Western Australia now need to respond. They're better players. Woden need to get their hands on the footy. Woden, Daniel Bandy, those type of players. They played at a higher level. They need to stand up.
Daniel Shell, 5 goals, 1 tonight. Been a star up forward for South Australia. Woden attacking the ball, couldn't take it. Fisher over it, slipped between his legs. Now it comes back to Clint Jones, scrambles the ball 20-30 metres forward. Maguire hadn't sighted him virtually since the first quarter. Nicely slipped a hand pass away to Pickett and hits the post. Second time that he's hit the post tonight.
Did well to get it out of the middle. Once again, Maguire's attack on the footy's been great tonight. He's led his opponent to the ball at every occasion.
Turnover here, the ball chopped off by Salicic. WA need a goal from this forward thrust. Slipping in front, Armstrong couldn't take the one-handed mark. Look away, hand pass by Pickett to his skipper. No one wants to tackle Anthony Jones, so he goes long from 52 metres. It won't have the carry. Lands in the heart of the goal square. Archie tackle. Still a chance in there for Pickett. Powell over the footy. Pickett wriggles out the back and kicks a miraculous goal. His second of the night, and it keeps WA in the contest.
And he does exactly that, Kevin. They looked as though they were really struggling. They were able to just work that forward. They cleared the zone, and Pickett, who's looked dangerous all night, is here. It just becomes a scramble, but it's in a dangerous position. If Western Australia win the contest there, and they do through Pickett, eventually spills out the back, toe pokes it with his right foot, finishes off nicely, breathes some life back into this contest.
Coach Peter German, a lot of faith in Alastair Pickett. He's coached him for both his Sandover medals. Of course, he's won them at two different clubs, at Peel Thunder in 2002 and Subiaco in 2004.
7 kicks to 6 handballs tonight.
Aims up and down before the ball had arrived. Fisher working hard and over the ball with his Glenelg teammate there in Backwell. We'll get another ball up. Darryl Hart and his South Australian crew. Hardy looks, well, relatively calm. Jeremy Clayton trying to be third man up. Unlikely third man up, I would have thought. Didn't get anywhere. Howard off the ground, socket it wide, heading towards the interchange bench. And straight over the line.
Just percentage play now becomes really important. Dean Howard, look, that's okay. Just socket the ball. Peter German really emphasised it at three-quarter time. Look, kick it down the line, kick it 50 metres. We'll start again. We'll get our crummers front and centre. South Australia have a different mentality. They're going to try to use the footy in these conditions. You need to be clean.
Woden to Webb. Back to Woden on his left boot. Well-weighted kick. Rudolph marks. Another South Australian down behind play. As the kick goes along the boundary line. The mark taken by Armstrong. It's Jeremy Clayton. He might have just been winded a moment ago. Armstrong with the footy. Kicks WA inside their attacking 50. Anthony Jones the target. A lot of players in the vicinity. Rudolph swings a hand pass over the top. Salicic knocks it down. Follows up his own work. Tackle was him and not in possession. No whistle. Looked like Thomas was being grabbed from behind by Pickett when he didn't have it. And in the end, the boundary umpire called into play.
Well, anytime you see Jeremy Clayton go down, you start to worry about him. He ruptured his spleen in the final series last year. Took until after Christmas to recover.
Boundary throw in. O'Hara wins it down. Howard slaps it along the turf. Hand pass comes to Gallagher, or to Sheedy it was. Goes back in for it again, Sheedy. Turned into the tackle. We'll have a ball up on WA's attacking 50.
Has dried up, though, Jeremy Clayton, after an initial spurt in the first half. Possessions in the second half have become very few and far between.
22 in the first half, 5 in the second half. None this quarter.
It's about the halfway mark of this final quarter. South Australia by 9 points. Howard stood up well. His decision was good in the end to go to Sheedy down to half forward. Nice kick, Parry leading out, took the mark. Can go across to Backwell, decides against it, instead goes long for Shell. Rumbles right on him, comes over the top, knocks it away. Bandy with the crumb, 2-on-1. Made it easy for Daniel Boundy into Keevers, wanted to play on quickly. Inside the centre square, pokes it forward, nicely done. And Keevers backs up again. Inside forward 50, but reading it well was Whiteman. Cut it out for South Australia. Can come this side of the ground to Campbell. Campbell is a left footer, so he goes down the line. Nice kick looking for Gallagher. Armstrong was brave, coming across the front. Knocked it away, Gallagher, good recovery. What does he do? He takes the percentages. That's what you said, Andrew, on the other side of the ground with Woden. He knew the tackle was coming, though, Gallagher, and made the decision. He'll take me over the line.
Yeah, it was a percentage play, just a team play to do. But South Australia pushed numbers back behind the footy and clogging up across half back. So I will see plenty of space in the South Australian forward line.
O'Hara wins it down. Armstrong with strength, but O'Hara gets it. Flings it forward to McKenna. To Kenna. 55 metres out. Goes looking for Shell. Back with the flight. Adams brought the ball to ground. Opportunity in there. Snapshot by Clayton. And Jeremy Clayton gets the goal for South Australia and opens up a handy 15-point break beyond the 15-minute mark.
Class players always come to the fore. He really excelled in the first half. Just a clever kick to kick into the spot. Good contest by Daniel Shell. Just kept his feet there in heavy traffic. Turns it around the corner and finishes off with a very important goal. Just opens up that 15-point margin again for South Australia.
Well, this was the problem, conversely, for South Australia in the opening quarter, with Western Australia just able to hold them at that 2 or 3 goal margin for much of the quarter, led by 13 points at quarter time.
Most of the Western Australian goals have actually come in bursts. So expect them at some stage in this last quarter to maybe kick 2 or 3 goals in a hurry. So South Australia can well not rest on their laurels yet.
Keever's out of the middle. Nice spot up. Found Woden. Woden, the left footer, looks back. Nothing much on offer. Goes in short. Finds Rutherford. Bit of space on 50. Can't go the distance with the kick. But Maguire did well. He got rid of his man and then took a mark. And quick to get the glove off so he can guide this one through for a goal. It wasn't taken, that mark, in the goal square, so he'll be on the most acute of angles.
Just needs to take his time. We spoke about Evan Newitt in the third quarter where he really butchered that opportunity. Here's an opportunity. Just got to work his way through it. Run out, hook it around.
And he's a natural left footer using his right foot. Turns it around the corner, happy with the result. And why wouldn't he be? Straight through the middle, as you said, Andrew. Took his time, worked out what he was going to do. Execution was perfect.
Yeah, never at any stage panicked in there. Look, Woden won an important ball. Here's the long kick. It has been a problem all day for Daryl Hart in that Maguire's been too strong for Luke Powell at fullback. He's a very strong player, as you said, a very hard matchup at full forward.
Not often you see a player do that. They use their non-preferred boot in that situation. Rather than go the banana, he actually kicked with the right foot by opening up the angle. And he's got WA back to within a single-digit margin, 9 points. Backwell gets the quick hand pass away. Thomas kicks out wide, running back with the flight for Song. Leaves it for his teammate Theo Adams, bursting off half-back, tackled and holding the ball. Ball ace to Captain, who's played a very good second half in particular, running him down from behind. Adams is quick, but Ball ace was desperate.
20 kicks and 13 handballs, Scott Ball ace.
Ball ace goes long towards Shell. From behind, knocked down by Kane Hayes, running onto it. Campbell, hand passes into the path of Kenner. Will it run ahead of him? It does. Now, what's the decision? It's out of bounds. Just went wide of the behind post for boundary throw-in.
That was clever. He did that on purpose. He didn't want the rush behind. He was happy to get it out of bounds.
Poses a question of deliberate,
doesn't it? Exactly. Yep.
Smart play, deliberate otherwise, and it was deliberate. Bandy gets to the front, brings it down. South Australia through Ball ace, just slipped at the inopportune moment. Now it's trapped. No, it's out again. And there's a scramble in there, and we'll get a ball up.
With the dew on the ground, players that keep their feet are going to be vitally important. It might just well a slip over somewhere could cost your side a goal.
Very even game, 311 possessions each.
Ian Mogridge right on the numbers. The Song just knocked it away. It's in a dangerous area, though. Sliding in there, Campbell slips out. Western Australia almost able to clear the area. Now it's Clint Jones, got the hand pass back to Woden, non-preferred foot outside 50. Jones almost able to take the mark. Clayton, very clever again. Jeremy Clayton knew the boundary line was there, and that's where he wanted to take it. Slow to get up, just struggling a bit. May have taken a knock to his left leg at some stage.
Sore and sorry, Jeremy Clayton. He kicked their last goal. Boundary throw in. O'Hara in front, wins it down, stealing it away. Adams uses that pace again to burst away from the pack. Gee, ran a long way. No whistle. Kicks up to half foot over the head of Howard. Archie lumbers back with a more fleet of foot. Ames pushing the back. Gee, that was a very cheap free kick. Silly play. Archie goes out wide. Marked out there by Whiteman. Runs it towards the outer wing. And a relayed kick. Maguire pushed Whiteman after he kicked it. And the ball will be taken at right half forward.
In a game of inches, that costs you 50 metres.
Parry in short, backwall marks, just outside 50. Beros is off the ground. He seems to be holding his right hamstring. Crab on as backwall goes short and has found Campbell. Beros just carrying that right leg a little bit limply. Might just be a touch of cramp in the Sandover medalist a few years back.
And how that after disposal now hurts. You get a shot at goal through an undisciplined act on your own half-forward line.
So Campbell, he has a behind for his efforts tonight. 39 disposals in his last outing in the SANFL against North Adelaide, playing for Norwood, so he's been in good form of late. This could be a very telling kick just beyond the 20-minute mark. He crosses 50 with the white boots. He goes low and goes left. Behind, WA breathe a sigh of relief.
Still plenty of time in this game. West Australia don't need to panic. They just need 2 goals in their last 7 minutes. just through constructing football.
They look to bring the ball in quickly, though, and it's turned over. Clint Jones was good. Keevers gave the ball back, and they spread it to Parker. Couldn't get his kick away. Good pressure again from South Australia. Campbell around the corner. He'll hope for maybe out of bounds here because Western Australia had the numbers. Keevers was clever. They share the ball wide and get it to centre wing. Pickett knocked away by South Australia down the front. The rover was the ruckman, and that just didn't work for O'Hara. So they get it back to Hayes. Western Australia into their forward line. Powell ahead of Maguire. When he can use his pace, Powell is very clever. Did well, got it to his club mate in McKenzie, and now wide to Thomas. Drops it in short on the centre wing, and Gallagher takes the easiest of marks. Leading up was Fisher, and also player out there just stuck on that name. It might have been Campbell who came forward in the end. But South Australia worked the ball through the middle to Clayton. Clayton to Shell. Well done by Basong, got it away from Shell, who then got Basong away from the ball, sliding in by Woden. Now Kenner taken down, could have been holding the ball, is holding the ball. And Western Australia will get another opportunity.
Well, Basong's a long kicker of the football. This time he goes short. Webb the target. Mark Webb, Subiaco captain. Right half back.
Slow, isn't it, though? They need to move the ball quickly to catch South Australia out on the rebound.
Bandy coming off, Newitt going on. Powell paid the mark last in line. Plays on by hand to the busy Jeremy Clayton. Defensive 50. Cross half back, marked by Sheedy. Sheedy told to play on now. Not a lot on offer. Goes out the back door. Thomas comes to a halt. Back towards Powell, backpedaling in the centre square. Powell now has McKenzie out on the broadcast wing. He takes the mark. South Australia already, it appears, content to maintain the ball through possession footy as he goes short to Clayton. Should have the Foss Williams medal round his neck later tonight. He goes in towards centre half forward. It was a very well-weighted kick. Taking to Mark Gallagher, playing all back wall. Put down by Rutherford. That'll be a relay, and it could be a report, I fancy. The book is coming out. Rutherford raised the elbow, and Backwell went down. And umpire Richard Williams putting him in the book. That was, it must be said, unnecessary.
Certainly was. He didn't have his arm tucked in, and it's just so late.
And now Shell, a chance to ice the cake perhaps for his sixth from 45 metres out. He rides it home, and he may well have given South Australia the victory.
There's two undisciplined acts. We saw one that only cost a point just earlier in this quarter, and there's just the last one. Just didn't really need to do it. And Shell, who's been instrumental up forward tonight, here's the the FAD. Backwell goes down. Shell was certainly in a marking contest. Goes back and drills a nice goal from the pocket. You really feel 3 goals in the last probably 5 or 6 minutes, given the goals at a premium this last quarter is probably beyond Western Australia.
Clancy Rutherford will have an appointment with the Commission this evening. After the game, he'll meet with the South Australian Commissioner, and they'll find him guilty or not guilty, and then it'll be left to Western Australia to make the decision on how many games he'll miss.
Thought you were going to just say they'll find him guilty, and didn't know you were going to go on with the not guilty status.
And send him to the gallows.
Don't need to be that patriotic here.
Oh, they look like they're going to finish it off now, South Australia. It's down to Shell again. They've done all the attacking in the last few minutes. Shell couldn't get his way to the ball. Finally, he did. Borlase can finish a good game if he can get the kick away. No. Taken down. Umpire calls for the bounce inside forward 50, about 30 metres from the South Australian goal. A 16-point lead. 25 minutes ticking over in the final quarter. You think South Australia will have this one? By Bandy, puts the ball into the turf. Harry knocks it forward. Fresh air kick at the ball was made by Parker. Now South Australia through Backwell. They get the ball away to Howard. Shrugs off a tackle. And Backwell again will dive on the ball and could be pinched for holding it. No, umpire will call for another bounce. South Australia will be happy with this. It's in their forward 50 and we're counting down.
And time becomes West Australia's enemy now. Look, they need to manufacture something. Out the door goes as you get down the line. They need to take some risk, bring the ball back through the corridor.
is the enemy for WA as much as their opponent. Sweeping on the ball here is Ball Ace, the captain, and he pulls it left. A minor score, but a lead 17 points, so WA would need 3 goals at the 26-minute mark. Highly unlikely as the kick into play finds Parker.
A good result for West Australia because they do get the ball back. They're still only a 3-goal margin. They're able to get control of the footy.
We go down to Bandy, who fumbled, and Archie came in and kindly gave the ball straight to him with the tap. Bandy around the corner, only released Whiteman for the chest mark. Whiteman takes his time, goes back, half volley by Powell. Round he goes to McKenzie, who takes his time. South Australia clearly content to hold the ball. McKenzie across to Howard. Howard plays on, decides to go deep to centre-half forward, but without, I would imagine, much of a look. As Keevers was the only player really in position to take the mark, drops it in short, running away Rutherford. Rutherford, I don't think he meant that kick, but nevertheless he got it to Webb inside 50. Maguire leads up, and just a few minutes ago yelling from the bench, Peter German wanted Maguire back in the goal square. Now he gets it off to Crabb, and the Sandover medalist kicks a much-needed goal. Who knows? Western Australia could come from nowhere.
Still think we've probably got about 3 minutes to go, so there's still a chance, but good play by Clancy Rutherford. Really made it happen coming out of half-back. Ran and carried the footy and forced South Australia on the back foot. Good sharing by Maguire. Jackson Coe, haven't seen enough of him tonight as a former AFL player and a very good player in the Waffle. Really expected better of him tonight. Centre break important now for Western Australia.
Yep, they need to whip it straight down and get a goal, and then try and do it again. South Australia will try and play some possession, put it back and get it, and they do. Newick palms it straight to his opposite number, O'Hara. Backwell taps it along the ground. Opportunity for Woden over the footy. Hand pass too slick. South Australia can't get a clearing kick. Rutherford grabs, slings it out into the path of Armstrong to Keevers. Wrong foots his opponent, Kenner, steps inside him, then goes up towards Webb. Back with courage, Howard takes the mark. And you see him signal, palm down towards the turf, just saying, let's slow it down. He kicks it out wide. Gallagher goes towards Parry on the lead, takes the mark. 70 metres out from goal. Parry wanting movement towards him. He sets it up towards the hot spot. Shell, the big lead. Ball hits the ground, socket away by Ames. Opportunity in there for Hayes, went without it first time, gets it now. Hand passes to Ames. Tackled by Campbell, gathering it is Inkster. Goal, game to South Australia. Oh, Talon Ames. Here's the trophy, the Hayden Button Junior Trophy, which will be in the possession of South Australia. They'll retain it because Ames there not fleet-foot enough to get away from a lunging Campbell.
Yes, Tally, you just need to learn to ever get the footy to take off with it. You can see he just dawdles off. That's just wonderful forward pressure by Campbell. It's really his goal. But Tim Inkster, he was a player that really worked really hard to get South Australia back in the second quarter, back into the game. Had a really good night as an opportunist forward.
17 kicks, 4 handballs to Tim Inkster.
Tim Inkster. The Eagles will be very happy locally. Woodville West Tigers that Tim Inkster's performed well and got through the night without too much of a problem.
I think our producer's probably pretty happy to take marks like that as well.
Here's Archie off half-back for South Australia. Basson got his foot to ball. Virtually a bounce down then. The ball went up high. Here's Basson again. Forward away wide, met by Archie. Forced off the kick, Backwell advantaged by it. Nicely done. Now Backwell through the centre square, drives it long, and going back unable to take it was Hayes. And now they break away through Adams. Western Australia go down centre wing, 3-on-1. Howard comes from behind. South Australia with the numbers. Sheedy couldn't break away, and putting his head down was Campbell, and that gives us a chance to go down to Mark Soderstrom with the unfortunately injured James Gowans.
Yes, I've grabbed James just before the signs were out to go. James, it's been a good win, but not good for you.
Not good for me, but it's good for the state, for the league. It's been great to get over the Waffle and put up a good effort, and that's been good.
How's that car?
sore at the moment, but it'll be right for next week, hopefully.
No Foss Williams medal for you tonight.
Spewing too, I'm spewing. Only needed that to finish the collection off, but anyway, it's been a good win. Boys have done really well.
Good on you, mate. Let's hope that that calf gets better quickly.
Thanks, Otis. Cheers, mate.
They've still got the ball, South Australia at left half forward. They lead by 17 points. We're beyond 31 minutes as the ball is thrown in. Chance in there for Clint Jones. Look away, hand pass to Webb. Webb across the defensive goal mouth towards Jackson Crabb. Not a lot of movement downfield by WA. Long lead in the end offered by a diving Salisic. Thomas nips in front of him. He went out, and so too did the ball. Boundary throw in front of the Chapel stands.
James Gowers then mentioning the full array of awards. He's got a best and fairest at his club, a 5-time premiership player and a Jack Odie medalist for best on ground in one of those premierships.
He's going to sit in comfort and watch the clock tick down on this game. O'Hara, a fresh air shot. Rutherford taken to ground, ball held to him. Will have a ball up. WA burst from the blocks. They led by 13 points at quarter time. Kicked the first 3 of the game. It was down to a 4-point lead at half time. And they came home 4 points down at three-quarter time. And South Australia have played by far and away the better last term. Woden along the ground towards Parker. His kick goes laterally towards the boundary line. It beats Webb and will have a throw in.
Daryl Hart, that is Daryl Hart looking happy, actually.
It's about as good as it gets from him, doesn't it?
So, ball comes to the back. Parker gets the kick away quickly. Bandy, the ball got past him. He may get it in the end. He does. And
32 minutes.
Must be colourblind. He gave it to a South Australian in Kenner, and now McKenzie. He can chip it wide. Backwell calling for it. On centre wing, happy to take possession and hold it up. He's got another chip on, and he goes for Campbell. Campbell has the ball knocked out of bounds. And South Australia, again, have proven the worth of the SANFL. Daryl Hart on his way down. They've retained the Hayden Button Jr. trophy, and they have beaten Western Australia by 17 points in the end. But what a contest it was.
Certainly was a great contest all night. West Australia being very brave. They picked a side that they came here with. It was tough. They had some runners. They had some tools. They had a very good mixture. Very well prepared. Just weren't quite able to execute for the entire night. And South Australia continued on. And they really were able to turn the game around in the second quarter when they increased their intensity. Their tackling improved markedly in the second quarter. And what became a real arm wrestle in the last quarter, they just were a little bit cleaner at certain times. And they were able to just get over the line at 17-point margin.
Among the best for South Australia, Daniel Shell. And he's down on the ground with Michael Maney.
Well, Daniel, 6 goals out of 14. Good night for you, but more importantly for South Australia, good win over WA.
No, that's the only important thing, mate. To win any state game is fantastic, and you know WA had a good side, so just a great game, mate.
You started off a little bit slow. The team started off a little bit slow, but then just gained some momentum after a while. What do you put the slow start down to?
Probably not playing footy together and getting used to each other, and once we got the ball rolling, we played some good footy. But it was a good game, and that's what these things are for.
You seem to get some good deliveries through the midfield. Jeremy Clayton was outstanding tonight, and Dean Howard also terrific through that area.
Yeah, played some great footy, mate. I'm just on the end of some good passes, and just lucky enough to get a few tonight.
And you seem to, with your confidences up, you seem to get the ball early and knock a few through. You seems to carry on for the rest of the game. Was that how it went tonight?
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice if it happened every week like that for me, mate. So I'll keep working at it. But it was nice to kick straight tonight.
Well done, Daniel. Great effort tonight.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, mate.
Daniel Shell, a 2-time Ken Farmer medalist, which is the goal kicker in the SANFL competition. Of course, has some connection with WA, having played with Fremantle.
And had some injuries when he was south from Fremantle into WAFL, which stymied his progress at AFL level. But he was very sure overhead tonight, and with a Dewey ball, he took some very strong marks and played some pretty sensible footy.
Time now for the presentation of the Hayden Button Junior Cup and also the medals for both sides for their best players. Here's Mark Soderstrom.
Ladies and gentlemen, could we please have a round of applause for the winner of tonight's game, the team from the SANFL. Now I'd like to invite Ian Taylor from the Western Australian Football Commission to present the Simpson Medal for the best player from the WAFL tonight, number 18, Kane Hayes.
played well tonight, Kane Hayes, deep in defence, and he receives the coveted Simpson medal for the best player afield for WA.
Thanks a lot. It comes as a bit of a surprise. I was having a bit of a chat and didn't even hear at Darks what happened then. But, thanks a lot to South Australia. Though their skills were just a little bit too good for us tonight, and maybe we can work on that over next year and play them next time. Thanks.
Congratulations, Kane. Now I'd like to welcome Jenny Williams, the daughter of Foss Williams, to present the Foss Williams medal to South Australia's best player with 6 goals out of 14. Fantastic effort, Daniel Shell.
Would have been quite a few contenders, I'd imagine, Andrew, including, of course, the captain, Scott Borlase, and also Jeremy Clayton in particular in his first 2 and a bit quarters.
I think clearly the first 3 best South Australians on the ground. They had some other Whiteman played really well, but Daniel Shaw for his 6 goals in an area where we thought they were going to struggle.
Just quickly, thanks to the WA guys. These sort of games, you just want a close contest, and it was a really great game tonight. Well done our boys, great footy, and thanks to all supporters for coming out. Cheers.
Congratulations, Daniel. The cup that both sides are playing for tonight is named after Hayden Bunton Jr. Hayden was captain coach of Norwood at 19 years of age. He played 22 state games for South Australia and West Australia. He won the 1962 Sandover medal. Please welcome Hayden Bunton Jr. And the cup to be presented to the captain of South Australia, Scotty Borlase, and the coach, Darryl Hart.
He's one of the legends of Australian football, Hayden Bunton, coached 5 premierships in the WAFL.
Darryl, congratulations. That was a real good competition. It doesn't always happen with interstate games, but the game was always in the sway for the last quarter, and it was good to see so many people come out to it. And just from what I've been told, these interstate games between these 2 states will just keep going on. Congratulations, Darryl. To you, Scott.
Yeah, just echo the words of Shelley. Great game for the West Australians. Well done to our boys as well. Played really well. A hard-fought game. I'm pretty stuffed. And I'd just like to thank West End for our sponsorship, and also to Parkinson's London, and also the coaches and trainers. Thank you very much. Well done, guys.
I'd just like to thank the supporters for coming out. They're just a fantastic group of people that support the SANFL. To the Western Australians, that was a very good game. We're lucky enough to come out on top again, and to like to thank my players, who are just a huge effort. So thanks, boys.
Well, as they put it, they're quite tired, and don't know how much of a lap of honour it's going to be for South Australia, but I'll have the obligatory photos in that taken, and I'm sure spectators will enjoy their opportunity to congratulate them. Now, coming up on ABC TV, your match of the day next week in the WAFL, Subiaco, the unbeaten Subiaco, and coached coincidentally by Peter German, playing Swan Districts in the match of the round on ABC TV from 2 o'clock next Saturday. And our match of the round in South Australia will be Central District against Norwood and Elizabeth, and another contest which, for 2 clubs battling to try and get into the top 5, will be very important.
Absolutely. I mean, Norwood are right in the contest, been very good so far this year. Central Districts, after getting well beaten by South Adelaide, need to get a win on the board to push themselves up into that top 5.
Plenty of great football coming up. We've enjoyed a great match here tonight. 17-point victory for South Australia. Thanks to Glenn Mitchell for your company.
Great to be here. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
And we look forward to more football on ABC TV. Thanks for your company. We'll see you next week.